doing?
That was the hype train reaction.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Is this the teacups?
I thought we were just about to hear an acapella rendition of
What
something.
is
I don't know
happening?
why.
Welcome back, everybody, to Tabletop
Oh my
Notch. Thank you so much for
gosh.
joining us. We hope you had a nice off week. We're sorry we couldn't entertain you last Sunday, but we're being as precautionary as possible as we continue to try and be safe, but also get together every week to play some Dungeons & Dragons. Tonight, we will be taking on Chapter 98. We are creeping ever closer to that 100 episode milestone, in which place I'll do my plug first.
Yeah.
Which, after episode 100, there's a little talk-back episode. We're going to answer some questions, talk about the campaign thus far, and then after that, we will officially start Season 2 of The Peak Beneath the Veil. A quick rundown of some of the great stuff coming your way. New intro, new music, new character art, new overlays, brand new, big, important character arc that, if you've been watching, you already are aware of, but certainly the next major step in the journey as the party heads north to the Roper Mountains. But before we dive into Chapter 98, a few other pieces of business to take care of.
Do yours first.
Oh, do yours first.
No.
No, yours.
That's what I was going to do, too.
No, yours.
Yeah, I think that's...
If you missed this episode or any other episode, I actually can't do it before you. I spend your whole time you're doing yours, remembering what to do. Okay, if you missed this episode or any other episode, they become available in podcast form every Tuesday morning on Apple, on Spotify, and any other place you might get your podcasts. We also re-air these episodes on YouTube. We do like a live YouTube premiere at 5 p.m. Eastern time every Friday. We're in the chat. We relive the highs and lows of every episode. And if you don't already, it seems like a lot of you found us through... 73%. I'll do that weird yell thing if we get to level 6.
Promise.
Everyone's like, don't give.
Can I take my sub back?
Yeah, I'm taking
I think you already found us on social media, but we're on TikTok and Instagram at tabletopnotch and on Twitter at tabletop_notch.
But soon.
We do own
We got it, guys.
at tabletopnotch, but we have not transferred over yet.
Thank you,
Big
Nolan,
news.
for what we said that at the beginning of last stream, and thank you, Nolan, for going and claiming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me like 3 or 4 days to be like, oh, shit.
Woke up sweating. Did I do good?
You did great. Did you do everything?
I think so.
Point.
Hey, there we go.
Okay, if you're new to the show and you're on desktop watching on Twitch mobile or Twitch browser, take your cursor and hover it over our show, and there's gonna be a little cue right where these two doofuses are pointing.
Holding it up.
It's like a marker of all of our quests. Oh my gosh, even that's amazing.
I'm participating.
This is fantastic. That's like a little quick introduction to the things that we might be working on in this episode or just in the near future, just to keep you like up to speed on what's going on. You gotta stop.
I'm glad they can't
Please feel
say
free to utilize that as you wish. And then, oh my gosh, okay, here we go. This is why I was waiting until
Don't worry about
What's
it.
happening?
Nothing.
This is why I was waiting until the very, very end, because y'all, I can't even keep up with y'all in the chat right now. So here we go. I'm just going to rattle off a bunch of stuff here. Havoc gifted 5 subs last week and then 6 subs just now, and then also did a tier 3 sub. I don't have perks for that yet. I swear. I'm going to make them for you now. I have a calling.
We didn't even
it's
know
perfect.
those existed.
It's
But we didn't have
fantastic.
anything for it.
So thank you so very much. Johnny Gadfly did a sub and then gifted 5 subs. Snapping Cobra 94 subbed.
Cobras. I
Dakin
love
7
cobras.
Dakin 77 is 1 sub. Jesus fucking Christ, I gotta keep going.
Choo choo,
Dakin
motherfucker.
77 did a sub and also gifted 10 subs. And Drool Claire did a sub. Fuck, I can't even read my own handwriting. Nihi High 123, Butterfleege, Evolving Threads, Mahi Mahi Boxer, Sir Mansalot, all did subs. And then Cool Schaefer just did 500 bits. Hopeful Optimus gifted a sub.
And
then
there's more.
oh, Jesus, goddamn.
We gotta
Not
go.
gonna catch up.
Do it with the half.
Not gonna catch up,
Pokodoko
man.
cheered $5, and then To the Maxwell gifted 2 subs, and then Death by Opus, and then Pokodoko gifted another sub.
Leave
Thank you.
Jordan alone.
Don't leave Jordan alone. Jordan, leave everyone alone. They're fine.
Chew through this shit, man.
Thank you guys. I'm in awe. Thank you guys so much.
You're all-
And you've been treated to a new tradition of yelling when the tribe train. I was thinking mahi mahi tripe train.
Oh,
a lot of
very
fish.
Like
Tripe
the
train.
fish?
That's cute.
Aw.
Yes, don't let our goofiness overshadow the fact that we are incredibly super duper grateful for every dime that gets thrown our way. So thank you all so
All
very
goes
much.
right back into this, be assured. Thank you guys really so much. It means the world.
Thank you.
Find us also. There's a growing community on Discord. Did you just
I
popped
just
it in
did
there?
it.
Find us there. We've got great threads going for people that are just coming in. There's lots of there's some awesome fan art going on. Some amazing fan art going on
And
that
I
we
just-
live for.
Some great memes too this
my
week.
God,
Oh yeah,
yes.
some good news.
Without spoiling, there's some really terrific depictions of some intense moments in the campaign so far. Some really awesome stuff.
We
that-
have spoilers covered.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Great,
Discord,
yes.
so you
Be
won't get
spoiler
things
free
spoiled
unless
for
you choose not to be.
Yes.
So join us there, hang out.
Yeah, that's a great. Both the Discord and the YouTube premiere are great places where we don't really answer questions during the stream because we're trying to stay focused, but we try to get back to people as best we can with anything questions people have about the campaign. Some people have asked about lore stuff, some of the homebrew stuff, mechanical stuff. So that's all there. We did it, guys. We got there. All right, we're gonna ride this whatever level hype train to the intro.
I didn't see it. What is it?
Oh, why I'm
We're
sorry.
it maxes out at level 5.
Oh, five.
It's an aquatic hype train.
Max train. Max chugga.
That's a thing.
I don't know.
No.
Chugga.
Okay, we're going over to the intro. When we come back, we'll dive into chapter 98 of A Peek Beneath the Veil. Here we go. All right, everybody. Welcome back. In chapter 97, Beckoned to a Reckoning. The party waited at the Upa Alehouse for any sign of the elusive Shakkar Murtis, knowing that our time was limited if we wanted to fit in a full night of rest before our last morning in Navikapura. While Graven and Orba turned in early to attune to some of their newly acquainted magical merchandise, a conflicted Erland consulted Safira about which path to follow in the wake of Marvin's disappearance. Without knowing the specifics of our situation, she did her best to provide some guidance, and something perhaps a little more than friendship was forged in the waning hours of the evening. With the knowledge that a sneak attack wouldn't be out of character, we took shifts sleeping, even in the relative safety of our rented room. And it was during Erland's pacing of the halls that the young backup bartender informed us that some visitors had arrived and were requesting an audience. As it turned out, more than one of our attempts to deal with the Shakkar problem had yielded results, thus presenting us with 3 distinct roads to travel down. The advocates were prepared to give Mr. Murtis an assignment that would take him out of Navikapura. Villapont Willoughby was ready to arrange a peaceful sit-down to squash our beefs, and our new acquaintance Hayden knew of a location where scores could be settled in whatever manner of our choosing. Safira and Orba saw the obvious merits of the advocate's offer, but Erland saw only an opportunity for redemption, or vengeance, or both, and convinced the others to let him take his shot in Bosworth's basement, where apparently the only rule was that there are no rules. We were led to the southwest part of Naupa, very close to the seedy Lepatro neighborhood, where our past experiences had been somewhat less than pleasant. On the lower level of a dilapidated shared home, we found a hive of after-hours debauchery, complete with a makeshift fighting ring, stained with blood, old and new. As promised, Shakkar was there to greet us in the flesh, and Erland barely let him get a sentence out before delivering him a pair of robust opening strikes. initially vowing to stay back unless things took a dire turn. It was obvious to Safira and Orba that now was not the time for restraint, when Shakkar ingested something that seemed to amplify his fortitude, quite possibly a small dose of myconid extract he'd been saving for the occasion. The crowd was rowdy, and Shakkar's blows rained down with great ferocity, forcing Erland into an early retreat. But a clever crystal distraction and some well-timed arrows bought him an opening to get back into the fray. Balanced atop a table and dodging attacks with his last bit of stamina, Erland used the Dragon's Breath spell that Orba had imbued him with to send his opponent to a frigid grave, firmly shutting the book on the maddening mischief of Shakkar. It was a long walk back to the Upa alehouse, but it came with a promise of much-needed rest, especially for Graven, whose magical reserves had been running on empty. He awoke to find obvious signs of a scuffle in the night, but with everyone alive and other matters to tend to, he decided it wasn't worth dwelling on, and started his trek to Nagarwis. Our deadline for departure was rapidly approaching, so the party was forced to split once more. Graven to Hola de Safiod, Orba to the Cleric of Gran Legale, Safira back to battle ready, and Erland to Fangle, where he hoped to meet with Tessa Pleasance. With a reunion scheduled for lunchtime, which would hopefully coincide with our travel supplies being delivered by the advocates, we went our separate ways, and we wondered. Did the glassblower of Wamparani Na have any insight to share about Marvin Bishop's other inventions? Would Graven's defense of Lem's interests net him a nice raise at the forthcoming negotiation? And with Orba hoping to break her last connection to the cursed mask, should we spare a moment for Wadu, who was so excited when he identified it back in Mukmu?
No.
We find out now.
Why'd you gotta say that? That was awful.
He'll love the new stuff.
We can't do the episode anymore.
We find out now
I have to go.
on chapter 98 of
We
A
quit.
Peek Beneath the Veil.
He understands.
Oh,
So sad.
Yeah, he hasn't seen your new cool stuff.
yeah, he hasn't. That's right.
He might be dead.
I missed that, man.
You know what? That's not. You're
He might
even
be
worse.
running Mukmu.
Yeah, it's true.
That-
Where that town was going.
That was stupendous. The way that sounds good.
As though not everything that happens is our fault.
The way we fucked that town over.
Yeah, exactly.
It's basically upper crap.
Oh no.
As you head for the gatehouse, the road takes you past the inn at Nagarwis, and it feels for a moment that things have come full circle. You can see the innkeeper Albarca sweeping the front stoop of the bunkhouse, and you recall that first night speaking with him, learning about the Melvin Hoggs Memorial, the Steederway stalling out, and the new Mullafair money in the north. With those thoughts in your head, you approach the bridge. But before you get there, the same man with the rumpled tunic and high cheekbones that organized the fight with Shakkar is coming in the opposite direction. Hayden. And with bags under his eyes and an unfocused expression, he looks like he might not have slept overnight. In addition, he's sporting a few bruises on his jaw and his arm, reminders of the roughhousing that took place in Bosworth's basement, as the onlookers scrambled after the crystals that you tossed by the wayside. He recognizes you right away,
Yeah, he does.
and he gives you kind of a tired nod of the head, not an unfriendly one, but just a nod of acknowledgement, and he kind of strides forward to you, so you're meeting, but right before you get to Donovan's gatehouse there, he's already crossed over the bridge, so he's meeting you. You're in Nagarwis. Hi there.
Good morning.
Good morning. I hope you found, he kind of looks around, Bosworth's basement suitable for your needs.
Yep, quite suitable, thank you.
You all left, in a bit of a rush, but it seemed like, your friend got the outcome he was looking for.
Yes, unfortunate that it had to come to this, but yes, I think he's pleased with the outcome.
Yeah, I don't feel great about how it kicked off. You know, I thought your elven companion was there to engage in a sort of duel, not a 3-on-1 ambush.
Yeah, well, we were hoping for an honest fight, but when we saw the extract, I think we decided it was time to make it a team effort.
Sure, yeah. You fought well, all of you. You mercenary types, like from out of town.
Bounty hunters, I suppose.
Bounty hunters, alright. Seem kind of the slow turning gears in his head in this early morning hour. I was just, I was on my way to the ports to see if I might secure a buyer for something that I picked up after the scuffle. You see, he kind of gets a little bit closer, and there really isn't anyone like. There's other people in Nagarwis, but there's no one like passing you by at the moment. You see, when Shakkar was getting himself situated at Bosworth, I saw him slip something into a drawer near the bar where he thought no one was looking. Maybe for safekeeping, or if he needed it later, right?
Yeah.
Well, after the fight, I went and I looked. It was still there. I think it's one of them extract capsules. That'd fetch a handsome price, right? Though I'd have to be careful because I'm not exactly sure who I can safely sell it to. That wouldn't be something that you're interested in, would it?
What would be your price?
Oh my god.
I mean, that's a few hundred gold, easy.
Mm-hmm.
Which would more than accelerate my hopes of buying a nice home on the north end of Naupa. I'll tell you what, though. I saw your friend pat down Shakkar after he filled him full of ice. That was a nice move, by the way. He didn't happen to find a key on him, did he?
No, he didn't mention anything, but he doesn't tell me much, so maybe.
Well, if he did, if you see your friend again, and he found a key on Shakkar's body, I'll be willing to make an exchange.
What is this key?
I think that Shakkar had stashed away some of his belongings. I'd like to see what he might have had. Everybody knows that Shakkar comes from some sort of mischief magic monastery, right? Thought he might have some magical trinkets, perhaps? Items?
Yeah, some stuff.
So, I'm thinking I'll give you the extract and you give me the key. And I'm making a gamble here, make no mistake. I don't know for sure that what Shakkar's got is more valuable than just the extract itself.
Right, but I have a feeling you're correct in assuming it's magical in nature.
I think that's possible, but I'm at a bit of an advantage because I think I know what the key goes to.
Yeah,
and you don't.
and I don't. Right.
No offense intended.
No offense taken. Well, first order of business would be to see if he has a key, which I don't know.
Sure.
I won't be seeing him until later this morning, so how would we reach you if we were interested?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to meet with a couple of people in Wamparani that might give me a better idea of how much I could sell this capsule for. And then I'm headed back to Naupa, take the steed away, so should be back in maybe a couple of hours.
Back to Naupa.
Yeah, back at the alehouse.
And I'm a little embarrassed to say I don't know much about extract. What is this a specific thing, or like I saw the way he administered the other one?
Yeah, I'll be honest. If you don't know anything about it, maybe it's not for you.
What does that mean?
I mean, it carries a certain stigma with it to some people. I'm just saying, if you're not confident that you'd make use of it, maybe best to stay away.
Well, maybe not me, but one of my companions.
Why don't you talk to your companions and find out?
Okay, I will.
Sounds like a good deal.
All right.
All right,
Pleasure seeing you, Hayden.
you too. Have a good one.
Goodbye.
He kind of slowly shuffles his way down the road there, tired, sort of slouched demeanor as he's working his way. He seems to know Albarki. He kind of waves to him as he passes by. Albarki gives him a little wave,
Yeah.
knowing some of the small town folk here.
All right. Orba's planning in her brain about that one.
You didn't want it.
I know.
We need we need hundreds of gold.
Just a key.
Or a key.
Or a key.
All right, Orba's gonna proceed to Donovan.
Okay, you're right.
Yes.
Kind of outside the door there. You see the door again, that kind of askew sign that says D. Ainsley. It's hanging. It says that he's in.
And Orba's gonna get her backpack and make sure that her flower is at the very top of everything.
It's okay.
Everything's fine.
And she's gonna give the door a little rap.
A little shuffling in the interior. You can definitely tell that someone's inside. Takes a moment. So I'm standing out here by the river. Nice day. A little humid out. After a moment, door clicks. And swings open. Has a little bit of gusto it swings open with. Surprising for the man that stands on the other side. Wrinkled, stringy hair, cascading down in all directions. And with a defiant exhalation, he kind of blows one strand out that kind of curls around his right ear. And he tugs at this sort of greenish body wrap. He seems to be cold, even despite the kind of humid air that sort of holds it close to his body.
Good day.
Does a third visit mark the time you cross the threshold of my door? Or will you linger in the street as you did before?
Well, if memory serves, I wasn't invited in on the second one.
Would you like to come in?
Yes, please. I was gonna come in.
Steps aside. You step inside. And you see, for the first time, the interior. A pleasant, sort of unassuming interior. It has mostly the look of a home, other than Graven saw this before, but a little section that has like a long desk, and then behind it these ornate, delicately carved walking sticks. Like he has this collection of, seemingly sells them for a profit, these very beautiful, different materials, different carvings, all these walking sticks.
Cool.
And he sort of motions to your right as you're heading in, and there's a seating area there. The fireplace is not lit, but there's a fireplace there. A couple of sort of benches, couches right by the side.
Please, have a seat.
Orba's gonna sit with her backpack on her lap, and she's gonna have her palms resting on the backpack.
He puts his hand on the tall back of one of the chairs and allows himself to slide down into it.
What can I do for you?
Well, in my travels with the Goliath that you met, I have unfortunately taken on a curse, and I was hoping to consult you about getting that curse removed.
It is a fairly simple thing for a cleric to have a curse removed. Perhaps you could tell me a bit of the nature of this curse so that I could better assist you.
Well, it came from attuning to a specific magical item that is no longer in my possession, and from what I can understand, I've never felt the actual side effects of the curse, but to my best knowledge, my mind is vulnerable.
Where did you find this item?
I have to tell you that?
No.
It was in a collection of other fancy things in a place.
This curse.
Yeah.
Was the curse acquired after attuning to the item or because you stole the item?
I was gonna smile a little bit. Attuning, sir.
Good. A simpler thing.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that you could get cursed from stealing an item.
You can be cursed by another entity for your transgressions.
Ah, yes. I see.
I require no payment. I provide many of my services for free in Navikapura, pending my availability.
Whoa.
Those given aid in their most vulnerable moments will sing the praises of Grom the Gale. And in most circumstances, that is payment enough. All I ask from you is honesty. Can you give me that?
Okay.
He leans back in the sort of tall-backed chair, and he brings up a hand, and the sort of sleeve cascades down his arm a little bit, so down to the elbow, and you see the kind of withered arm there, and he holds up one pinky of that arm, and almost like holding it close to his chest, not like waving it about. He holds his hand very close to his chest, and he makes like a little Z motion with his hand. I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Of course. Why not?
how's that charisma?
Oh, you know, I'm pretty cute. That is an 18.
Oh, pretty cute indeed.
Very cute.
Truthy serum for you.
Shut up.
You feel this almost little pulse of energy wash over you. A pulse that you last felt stepping into Josko's castle.
Yep.
Slave.
The effects of something
Divots.
that's trying to just take a peek inside your mind and sort of detect whether or not certain things are being entirely truthful.
Yeah.
Feel that sensation. And you sit and you allow that to wash over, and then almost just in the one more blink of the eye, and it dissipates. And you realize that you've, even without trying all that hard, have resisted the effects of the spell. And you see Donovan kind of look at you.
It would seem your mind is not as vulnerable as you say.
Well, a quick heads up would have been nice, honestly.
Better that I have an understanding of who sits across from me. I shall have to rely on my intuition alone.
Okay.
You travel with a cleric of Kuuzni. Is this correct?
Yes.
But you are not a follower or worshipper of the meddling gods, are you?
No, sir.
Yet you have some business with them, the meddling gods. I can feel it. Why is it that when I look at you, I feel grains of sand slipping through the hourglass?
I'm told certain clerics of great ability are able to see the future. Are you not able to?
Not in the way that you describe. The future is not so solid as some would believe. It is malleable. Do you wish to help Graven?
Yes.
And when the time comes, when Graven chooses to embrace his former self, will you let him do it? Or will you stand in his way?
If by embracing his former self you mean declaring his faith to Kuuzni once more, then yes, most likely I will stand in his way.
Are your hands on top of your bag there?
Yes, they are.
Give me a perception check.
Oh no. My hands are sticky. It's honest. Okay. Perception?
Yeah.
18.
18. With just your hands resting on the top of your bag, you feel an ever so slight depression in the bag, and you feel like for a second you're worried that you had accidentally put too much weight on it, but you can feel like a petal breaking off from the top of the flower there.
Sure.
May I ask you another question?
By all means.
Do you enjoy card games?
Yeah.
He reaches down to, there's like a little side table with a drawer, reaches over. And he pulls out a small little collection of cards. Yeah. Pulls out a little collection of cards.
I learned of a simple game rumored to be played long ago by the communities surrounding Nolan's Woods. It's called Fate or Fortune. When the corruption of the forest was at its worst, but the prophet Demasit had not yet emerged, the elders would take a deck of cards, 6 cards, each one with a symbol representing the 6 most powerful gods at the time. Kuluzni, Wolfmere, Gromlegale, Carcera Mole, and Miajet. They would take these cards, shuffle them, and then lay them out in a row. And this was a way of determining which god they would ask for help, because they were truly lost. They would lay the cards out, and then they would take a die, just a simple 6-sided die.
He sort of takes a die out from the same drawer and places it on the table in front of you.
And then they would roll it. And then the elder had a decision to make. Would they pick the card that corresponds to the number that rolled, 1 through 6, left to right? Or would they forego the roll and pick a card on their own, believing that something deep within them was driving them to pick the correct god to pray to in that moment? Fate or fortune? I doubt that you are currently in your darkest hour. But there will come a time when you are at your lowest of low. And perhaps in that moment, you will wonder, who should I turn to? Why not make the decision now and save yourself the hand-wringing? Are you the type to leave it up to chance? Or would you trust a feeling deep within yourself?
One second while I find my notes on the meddling gods. Here you are.
Oh, this is too shady.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, this is fucked up.
He shuffles the deck in front of you.
Can't believe I sent her that.
Proselytizing little bitch.
Thank you.
What were you thinking?
Oh yeah, he'll just remove the curse. It'll be
He's
easy.
just gonna indoctrinate her. It's no big deal.
She's just trying to put it in
He's
her head.
indoctrinating.
Are you trying to remember which god is which?
I've got him here, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And when would I be making this decision? Before or after the roll?
You roll first.
I'm just gonna reach for the die. 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you search yourself and decide which one to pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. There's nothing there at the
A
moment.
grand
but yeah.
reveal. Are you preparing?
It's,
Oh.
it's empty. There's nothing there.
Casaramol.
Oh, that's not how it works. You pick a number, or you pick a card. The god reveals itself to you, not the other way around.
Number 5.
Trusting your own instincts. 3, 4, 5. Seems you have more in common with your friend than you think.
Orba's got like a sour bile taste in her mouth. We'll see if that day ever comes, my friend.
He reaches out, kind of a withered hand, touches you gently on the shoulder. And like he's drawing sort of a thread from a loose tunic. And just like that, you feel a weight off your mind. And like it was nothing, he pulls the curse free from you. And you're lifted of the curse from the mask.
As I said, a simple thing for a cleric to remove a curse.
Oh my god.
Much to my relief, yes.
As I said, no charge.
Well, that is generous. And appreciated. Can I ask you possibly a very personal question?
Yes, you may.
Gromlegale. God of life, no?
Yes.
I've had the pleasure of meeting your son, and
I spoke with Graven about Michael, yes.
well, forgive me for saying this so bluntly, but you, sir, look far older than what I would imagine you to be.
Gromlegale grants his clerics great life-giving powers. I can take a creature on the brink of death and pull it back, but to do so draws essence from my own very being. I've probably given 40 or 50 years away, so I appear much older than my time in this world would say. I fear one more of these might be the end of me.
Well, I know you're a devout man, but that seems unfair to me.
Every time I do it, I feel bliss. To serve something that you feel so committed to. There is a purity in that you cannot find anywhere else.
I look forward to feeling that myself one day.
Perhaps you will.
Well, thank you again for everything. It's much appreciated.
Have a lovely day.
You too. Thank you. I'm just gonna get up, just holding her bag real tight, and just kind of shuffle on out of there.
You get out. Door kind of rattling closed behind you, and that sign even falls a little more askew as you sort of, not slam, but quickly shut the door behind you. And you get out into the thoroughfare of Nagarwis here. You hear the shh, shh, and still Albarca raking leaves kind of by the bunkhouse. He sort of sees you in the distance. There.
Orba's not gonna run necessarily, but Orba's gonna have a brisk little hop to where she knows Graven is.
Over to hold it to Sophia.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Start to head in that direction. We are going to go over, reverse time a little bit here.
Guys,
What?
what happened?
Doing?
Oh, praise Kuzni.
No.
In your darkest hour, you have to turn to Kuzni now. The cards told you to.
Yeah, because that's how that works.
I want to know if Matt learned magic and they were all
Yeah,
Kuzni.
they're all Quiznos.
No other options.
The door swings open. Heavy, but without so much as a creak. Silent, sort of large, foreboding door that opens to the exterior of Holo de Safiod. As it closes behind you, the lack of patrons present has allowed the place to reach new levels of intimacy. Its thick exterior walls completely shut out the sounds of Nagarwas, the residents beginning their day, and the volume that Mr. Stonehand and Mrs. Megalore speak at is barely above a whisper, inaudible, even at less than 20-25 feet away. They're very, very close, very quietly talking to each other. The only other person here besides them, you, and the other bodyguard is one rather anxious-looking waiter who's very tightly gripping a pitcher of water from across the room, and it seems the importance of not making Lem look bad has been communicated to this man. He's waiting, sort of perched on the balls of his feet, evident that he's supposed to be there in case he's summoned. You step inside. And Lem spots you as you come through the door.
Ah, your timing is impeccable. Mrs. Megalore, as you have assured me that your associate is here to not interfere with our discussion, I too assure you that my own private security is here only as a precaution. I hire him frequently to oversee the safety of Holo de Safiod, so there is nothing out of the ordinary.
And she kind of turns to you again, that kind of red-painted top of her face with a sort of dramatic sheepskin sort of draped over her shoulders and down her back. Is this true?
Shut the fuck up.
Are you a regular employee of Mr. Stonehands?
I'll give like a curt nod and a
Make a deception check. You can make it with advantage. She doesn't know you.
Okay.
She runs the fancy bar in LA.
She does.
Oh my good God, 9.
She kind of narrows her eyes a little bit, and you can tell Lem is a little miffed that you didn't sort of robustly express your association with him, and you just kind of gave her a nod. She kind of narrows her eyes a little bit and eyes you suspiciously.
Well, I think now is as good a time as any to begin. I have a collection of notes here detailing the necessary and comprehensive arrangements that I had to make to create a suitable accommodation for your bakery amongst the local businesses, which I would love to go through with you.
And she kind of turns back to Lem. And that sounds lovely. I too have a collection of notes. Mine with meticulous projections for expected profits and how the presence of my institution would improve the surrounding infrastructure. I have a little drawing of a boat on the front page, because a rising tide lifts all boats, and I am the tide. And her and Lem kind of stare at each other, sort of like sizing each other up a little bit.
Good luck, man.
Too early for a glass of wine? Northern Hearth, perhaps.
Too late for such a dated vintage. Have you any Grimari?
Of course.
And he motions to that waiter, who quickly goes over and gets like a bottle of wine and shuffles over to the two of them.
How are we situated here?
So, you are all four kind of in a little semicircle talking,
Okay.
and then the two of them, once the bottle of wine is brought nearby, the two of them go over to one of those recessed seating areas, like 25, 30 feet away. So now, as they're walking away, you are left with the man that you spoke to at the Ube Ale House.
Oh, we're just kind of by ourselves over here.
Yep. Like
Okay.
a little ways away.
They didn't motion for us to like come with them.
No, they're not that far away. I mean,
Right.
30 feet away. You're clearly see them there. They're not like in a different room or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So they walk away and leave the two of you. And you give me a perception check.
I was gonna say I want to keep an eye on the side that he was talking about, and like whether he's kind of is it with each step or is it just kind of something that he? Yeah.
Give me a
Perception. 19.
19. So as you turn your attention to him, you were sort of talking to Mrs. Megalore and Lem, but as you turn your attention to him, you can already tell he's doing his best to stay as professional as possible, but he's sort of shifting a little bit back and forth, kind of one leg to the other, and you'll see his hand occasionally kind of go up to his side, and then he'll try and put it down, to not seem like he's uncomfortable in some way. So you can see that he's in some level of discomfort.
Got it. And the way have they sat down yet? The
Yep.
other two?
Yeah.
The way that they're facing, Are either of them kind of more facing towards us than one of them?
Neither. You're peripheral to both. So
Okay.
they are sitting like across from each other, and you guys are directly perpendicular to like out of the side.
I'm gonna kind of like ignore him, keeping an eye on his reactions to his side, but I'm gonna kind of get a little closer to where they went, like not
So
hover
you're
over
like
them.
between him and them. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can shuffle around a little
Okay.
bit. And as you start to move, he kind of talks to you very quietly under his breath. And they're talking at this point, so there's
Yeah.
a little bit of cover. Don't pull anything too early. Let them talk for a while.
Yep. Yeah, and I'll just kind of be watching, like eyes on them, seeing if they're looking around or if they're kind of focused on here.
Sure.
And
As of right now, they're exchanging those two kind of. They each had like parchment, write the writing on it. They've exchanged to kind of look over the details of their arrangement. God, my gut is knotted.
Are you gonna make it?
I stopped by that little kitchen on the road between Orba and Nakuzi yesterday, and they had this chikuli stew.
Oh no.
It was tasty. I had myself 2 bowls. But I don't know if it was a bad batch or if I'm just getting older because I've got a stitch like you wouldn't believe.
Just keep it together.
I don't know if I can have a proper scrap. I feel like I'm a sneeze away from shitting my pants. Oh, and he like swallows, and you can see there's like a little disgust in his face.
Try to make it quick then.
Do you think you can make it look good without ever going to the body? Because you might have a mess on your hands. Literally, if you do.
Poor guy.
We'll deal with it. Just keep it together. All right, I'm kind of turning my focus back to the 2.
Okay. A little bit of time passes. They swap papers a few times. They seem to sort of drink a little bit of wine as they're looking over. You'll see some like disapproving kind of shakes of the head as they seem to revise some of them. They have an ink and quill, and you'll see Mrs. Megalore kind of cross a few things out, hand it back, and Lem sort of seem right. So there's some back and forth negotiation going on.
I'm waiting for a moment where there's kind of a clear, she might even just be kind of glancing around, but perhaps a clear turn of her head in the direction of her bodyguard
Okay,
guy.
give me a perception check as you wait for it. We'll get with advantage as you wait for the opportune moment. You got some time.
Perception.
Yeah, I'm looking for that.
Dirty 20.
Dirty
Oh,
20.
nice.
A little more time passes. Notes exchanged. A couple times, it like rises, not to a contentious level, but a couple times you'll hear Lem kind of, it's unreasonable, and she'll sort of shake her head, and it gets a little heated, and then it dies back down.
no.
And then after some negotiation seems to happen, she seems to be getting a little frustrated with whatever he's offering, and you see her kind of look over to her bodyguard, sort of give a peek in that direction, like she's tired of this discussion almost.
I'll give it like a beat, see that, I'm gonna look over at him, and I'm gonna loudly, "Oi, what was that about?" This one's and I'm gonna like look at Lem, like, this one's fidgeting. I don't know what it's about, but
What's going on over there?
I would ask you,
There's no. He said
is there some kind of signal that the two of you have right now?
no. This one said that that Lem was gonna rip you off. He was gonna.
Hey, you quiet. I've got my eye on you.
You quiet. He pushes you on the shoulder a little bit.
I'm gonna like just grab onto his hand,
Okay.
like throw it down, and I'm just gonna like just keep cool for another second. Let it.
All right, everyone. Let's just finish our negotiations, all right?
If you can call them negotiations, fine.
Sorry, that was Lem that said that.
Well, he said, "Let's go back to our negotiations."
okay, yeah.
And Mrs.
And
Bigelow
then-
said, "Fine, we'll go back to them."
Mhm.
So they go
Okay.
back again.
Yeah.
Oh my
I thought you were gonna start it there.
Another minute, laying the groundwork.
That's a good idea.
Oh.
Eyes on her again if she glances over this way.
A little more time passes. We'll lump this in with the same one. After a little more time, it seems like even maybe something that I exchanged, Lem maybe offered a little extra leverage, as he said he was going to. You know, he said, I'm willing to go a little further. She gives it kind of a nod. And finally, she looks back at her bodyguard once more.
Okay, and this time I'm gonna be like, hey, and then I'm gonna walk over, and as he's like grabbing his side, I'm gonna grab one of his arms. What's this all about? There's gotta be something funny going on here. And in Giant, I'm gonna start like, you foolish, you're fucking with Lem here.
Don't come at me with that gibberish. And he two-hand pushes you.
And that time I'll like come back, and I'll go right back at him and like swing.
And we're in.
We gotta fight.
Gentle with him, poor little buddy. Poor little friend's gonna shit his pants.
Has to take a Constitution save every punch.
Oh my god.
All right.
Our poor friend. Our
We
poor little
enter
friend.
into a little bit of pugilism for those who haven't
I feel so bad for this guy.
do you
Oh my
have-
God.
I don't. I forgot.
that's fine.
mine.
That is literally the worst thing. I can't imagine having to
Having to
get
get in
into
a
a fight
body
while
fight
you're
while
having
you're
to.
having food poisoning.
Awful.
It's like if he shits, then it's gonna be more obvious that there's like,
that
not
it's, like,
something
not-
going
no.
on. Like I'm claiming.
Well, actually,
You
I
hit
don't
so
know.
hard, you shoot.
He's
Pretty bad.
That's badass.
That's badass.
Although she'll never hire him again because she's like, you were so scared you literally shit your pants the last time I asked you to prepare for me.
He'll be living off his 80 gold though.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
So
I guess
a quick
that's true.
breakdown of how this works. It's a non-lethal sort of sport combat form where it's mostly boxing, you throw strikes, and then there's basically cards that say, I throw the punches to a certain part of the body with a certain amount of effort or force, and then you get to throw up a defense of the different kinds that say, I try to dodge my way out of the way. That's the simple base work of it. Back in, do we know the original episode of
The
that?
full rules, if you go
great.
to our Instagram story highlights under homebrew, there's a link to the Reddit page that has the full rules for this.
Also the link in the chat. But I
Oh, you put the link in the chat too?
appreciate
Which
it.
is one of those is easier than the other, but
And
both
it's
are
on the
available.
Ooh, you have it right there.
So,
Thank you.
the first thing we need to do is make composure
People in
rolls.
the
for
podcast
both.
are gonna appreciate it.
That's true.
Now that's my hit dice, right?
Yes,
Which
it's your hit die plus 15 plus your Constitution modifier.
I really feel I can't. This poor man.
That's very appropriate. He rolled a natural one on his,
Poor
composure roll.
friend.
I mean, he still gets.
This guy is my personal
And
hero, and I don't want
I
anything
guess it
bad
doesn't
to
matter to
happen.
you, but I started 22.
And then initiative roll as well to see who throws
Yep.
first.
Shits his pants.
It's gonna be like that thing where you guys all throw up, you should just hands it.
No.
16.
Seven.
So he throws first. Okay.
Oh my god. I
Um,
can't touch his body. What am I gonna do?
Just do everything to the
Alright.
head. It's fine.
But then he's gonna start blocking
He
the
might
head.
start blocking his body.
Well, he can do you to the body.
This
You can
guy's a
do.
fucking
Give him
idiot.
a cute little,
I mean-
give him a cute little jab.
He's
A body
sick.
jab? Huh?
I have to. Okay.
Yeah, what's the lightest body you can
Lightest
Jab.
body.
do? A rising tide raises all.
we go.
Unless it's a dingus, he's gonna
This
be blocking
bitch.
his body.
All right, so you guys circle a little bit, and he's clamping like his left elbow down, like near his belly a little bit to kind of keep a safe sort of barrier between you and his stomach. And he comes in with two strikes. He's gonna go one head jab, and then one body strike.
Counter.
So it both go through.
Yeah.
So 6 composure to you,
my
and he
God.
takes 1 there.
6. Oh, Morty is.
So he comes in with kind of quick little strikes, and you get the impression that on a day where this guy isn't about to shit his pants, he's a competent fighter. He has some good force behind his punches. All right, what do you come back with?
Head jab, head strike.
Head jab, head strike. He general defenses if they're both jabs negate both.
Oh, but I get. I mean,
Oh, so sorry. What was it? Oh,
Head jab, head strike.
So negate a non-heavy of his choice. So he negates the strike.
Maybe we won't shit
You get a nice
So what does he get hit with?
he gets hit with a head jab
So is
for
that
2.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
and I take
Takes
1
2.
more. I
Great.
get 15.
Little knock. And at this point, so a quick sort of volley of blows gets
Yeah.
exchanged, and Mrs. Megalore and Lem both like stand up out of their seats, but then they watch the fighting.
Okay.
The peasants fight.
Like ants.
Damn it. Okay.
They
No.
wanted this to happen.
No. I mean, I
Makes them feel important.
Try and break the stage while you're fighting so she can't perform there.
Oh yeah, or actually no wait. If he shoots
Okay.
Graven hears Safira's voice in his head.
Make it smelly.
Okay.
So he tries to press his advantage a little bit. He feels like he got a couple good hits in. He goes for 2 body heavies.
Duck and weave.
So both go through. So comes in with 2 big roundabout punches. That's 12.
Oh my god.
And he takes 4 fatigue for that.
I am going down.
So a couple big wallops to the body. And you can see Ms. Megalore to the side kind of.
And it cost me 1.
Wait until yours shits his pants.
So head strike, body jab, but I'm gonna go for the left side, like the opposite side.
So head protect. So he blocks the head.
Fran.
And you go in for a little body jab. So what does he take for the jab?
1.
1 for the jab there.
I'm already down to 4.
And you hit him in the body to the opposite side
Yeah.
from where he's, but you see the skin kind of ripple a little bit, and he.
Oh no.
And he kind of leans in, kind of almost in like a clinch a little bit. And he sort of, don't do that again. And he leans back.
I can't keep doing the head.
I can't decide if I want to.
I know I can't decide either. I feel so bad for him, but at the same time.
Obviously, we want him to poop.
This is awful. Okay. Oh, I dropped something.
Poor little Fran.
Alright. He gets first this time, right?
Yeah, until someone gets knocked down,
Yeah.
he keeps hitting first. All right, he's gonna go for a head jab, body strike.
Negate non-jab, so the jab hits.
Negate all non-jabs.
Yeah.
Great. So the strike gets negated, but the jab is 2.
That's it, I'm down.
Great. It gives you a quick pop to the face. And Graven falls down. Just these rapid volley of strikes, and immediately as you fall to the floor, you look over and you can see Lem, and he sort of. So Graven kind of bounces back up. All right. So now you're first to strike.
Yeah.
And we make you re-roll your composure. Yeah.
Oh my god, a 1.
Okay.
19, so I started at 19.
Oh, buddy.
I suck.
It's
fine.
Do it.
Okay.
Loses
okay.
all self-confidence.
Okay. Alright. Graven's like looking real angry.
Oh, poor buddy.
All right.
2 body.
Graven gets back up, gets himself set.
So mean. Oh my god.
Wait, I go first now.
You strike first, yep.
Okay. Double head strike.
Okay, counter. Both of them hit.
Nice.
He gets knocked back both times. How much is that?
10.
That
Oh.
he's down.
Okay, that's good.
Gets knocked down to the floor, and this time you look over and Lem kind of.
Oh my god. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
He's gonna make a new composure roll.
They're both atrocious.
I have to do it. I can't look like I'm only going. Well, no, it worked last time. What am I talking about? Shut up. Anthony, shut up.
Graven has murdered people with his hands, but he's like, I don't want to make this man poo himself.
It'll look shitty. Like, truly. If I have to, I'll do it, but I don't want to.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And he's striking first, so he sort of gets back up, and as he leans forward to get back up, he sort of gets back up to his feet, and he kind of
Imagine.
comes in with 2 strikes. He's gonna go for a
Imagine.
body strike times 2.
Counter again.
Counter, great.
So I take it all.
Couple good sort of pops to the chest. 8 composure there.
Oh my god.
He takes 2 for that.
Okay.
All right, what do you come back with?
Head jab, head strike.
He goes duck and weave.
Yes!
He's desperately, you can already tell he's weaving too soon because he's like making sure that his body doesn't get hit. So both of you hit here.
So 7.
Okay.
Take 7. Oh my god.
I feel like I would poo just from the activity.
Yeah.
You know, like when you have tyrants, you like move around too
The
much.
duck and weave would get.
Yeah, woo! And I
You
just
already
come out
had
on the
to poo,
weave.
not
Yeah,
like
if I had
just
to
as
poo.
soon as you start
His footwork is bad. His legs are very close together as he's kind of like.
Oh, for God's sake.
Pinching it.
Oh, praise
awful.
goodness.
Okay.
This is his lowest moment. He should pray to good.
No, I know.
Okay. Okay.
Poor guy.
All right. Oh, that's the wrong
Teach
one.
you to fuck around.
All right. He's gonna come at you with head jab, body strike, duck and weave. Yes. Going for a quick and then goes to the body, and Graven slips out of one and
There
then
we
slides to
go.
the side, dodges out of the way of the next one. That's one composure for him.
Let's see. Great, like steadies himself and 2 quick head jabs.
Head protect.
No.
So brings up the hands
Little
quickly.
bastard.
Sorry, dude. This is it.
Yeah, how dare you do
We
head
should
protect?
let him win. Like, let's be. Come
I
on.
need to make it look good.
But then how is but then we can't make it smell. What will happen to
Nothing.
the performer?
That poo would have to be pervasive.
I'm just saying,
for a
Graven could like
performance
scrub
12
it into
hours
the
later.
floor a little bit afterwards.
Roll in
Just like mush it into the floor.
Ew.
You know what I
Oh
mean.
my god.
Come on, we
Too far.
That is too far.
that's
All
too
right,
far.
okay.
That's the line.
All right, he
We
comes
found
back
it.
in, and he's gonna go with. Oh, the times 2 should have been second. Head jab times 2.
Man, I did counter it.
Just quick with his right hand, sort of keeping the other hand close to his chest. A couple quick pops, and Graven's just not quite fast enough. That's 4 composure.
4.
Yep.
Okay. Coming back with a head strike, body jab.
Okay, footwork.
No.
The head strike misses. The body jab hits.
Again on the
The
side.
body jab
trying
hits.
to keep to the
yeah.
side.
Okay. So
I'm dying to
composure
know.
for him. Let's just mark those off.
Oh, boy.
and how much? It was a body
It's
jab.
just for one. Yeah.
Great. All right. He's going to make a Constitution save.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Hit him right in the side there, and he makes kind of an unnatural. I got him.
You got
right where I want him.
Yeah, you stupid bastard.
He backs up again.
The save get higher every time.
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. No. Okay. I get so fucking worked up about this. Okay.
All right. He's coming in with a heavy head jab.
Oh, he's mad.
Oh no.
That's it for me. Body
He
protect.
comes in, he gets hit with that little body tap, and immediately you see kind of the redness of his eyes kind of flare up, and he just goes with one big haymaker. It catches you at the side of the face, and you go falling to the ground there. You fall to the ground, and he's sort of, yeah, stay down.
This one was trying to cheat you. I saw him.
I
Give
was,
some signal to her.
I was just trying to protect your interest. The two of you both like moaning. Trying to protect your interests. Well, I think things have been settled more or less. Why don't we call that an extra % my way? And Lem sort of looks over at you. I think that sounds fair. Shall we finish up? The two of them kind of sit back down. That was good. You made it look good. Yeah. I thought you weren't gonna go to the body.
Couldn't. I had to make it look real.
You did. You made it look real.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Maybe you can go see Joe Magosto after this.
Surgeon? For my upset stomach?
I don't know. Maybe she might have some advice.
Okay. Thanks.
Shut
Two of you kind of
Rubbing
step
my-
back a
yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
Just go in and get your stomach removed. It's fine.
A little bit of time passes. The negotiations seem to kind of wrap up. They exchange a couple more papers. Finally, Mrs. Migalore goes over to her bodyguard, sort of gives him an approving nod. She looks down at his gut, and he's trying to, like, suck it up to look professional. And then she gives him a nod and kind of motions for him to follow. He turns, he gives you kind of one last... starts to walk out in that direction. And then Lem wanders his way over.
No.
A good effort, I suppose. I did have to, give up a little more than I would have liked.
Who knows what they were trying to finagle? Besides that,
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
12.
I doubt they were trying to do much other than make me look a fool. Which it seems they did.
Well, I do apologize if I was part of that. It was not my intent.
I appreciate your apology. The contract stands. And the extra 50 is yours for defending my interests, futile as it may have been.
Right.
He goes over to a little lectern, reaches behind it, and you can hear like a little... Hands over a pouch. 100 gold, has the 50 plus the 50 additional.
Oh, baby.
Now, this is a thing where I now go to the Broken Crown.
And claim the contract,
Claim
yes.
it.
You
But
would also know as someone...
The
Sorry.
money doesn't come from the Broken Crown? It comes...
It depends.
Okay.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. When it's one of these variable contracts, and you would know this as someone who's been in Anti-Suyu, when it's one of these contracts where it could be 50, it could be 100, it could be 150, that usually comes from the person, because they're the person who evaluates, the person who put out the contract, because they evaluate your competency in completing the contract.
Yeah.
So he gives you the full amount, and usually what it does, and you see him do so, he takes like a little quill and writes out like a little notification of your completion of the contract, which he hands to you, and you can take that to the Broken Crown to show that you've completed and claimed the contract, so that someone can't pretend they did it when they didn't.
Right. Thank you.
Yes. Your performance was adequate.
I was frustrated. Wasn't at my best.
If you, clean yourself up, sometime we'd love to have you here at Polo's if you
I'm not going to be in the city much longer, but I may be back another time. Actually, speaking of things on my mind, the artist, Yord.
The musician.
Yes,
Yes. An honored guest of ours for these nights.
she's here now.
Perhaps.
Is there any amount of this pouch here that would grant me a audience with her?
Thanks for a moment. And you see his eyes just kind of flitter down toward a little blood stain on the floor there where you fell after taking that final blow.
I don't think so. Sorry. That honor is reserved for close friends only, I'm afraid.
How much longer will she be here?
At least 4 or 5 more nights, I believe. My understanding is that she's headed to Dilla soon after that. For another series of concerts.
I was able to see her perform a little, but I had some questions.
You saw her here?
No, in Naupa.
An adequate venue.
Right, if I could, I would stay for tonight to watch her again, but I have to be getting out of the city. 5 minutes. Please.
Persuasion check.
Yes.
Yes.
Word for it, baby.
No.
7.
The best I can do is I could pass a message log if you'd like. It would be a violation of her privacy for me to grant an audience.
Perhaps. Could you describe me to her and tell her that I will be here in Nagarwis for only another hour?
I won't be speaking to her that soon. I believe she's taking a walk to take in the sights. She's not here.
Ah. Well, never mind then.
Is there somewhere else she can find you?
I must go to Wampuranina, but then I'll be in Naupa by noon.
Difficult to find.
Yes.
As I said, I am happy to pass along a message if you wish.
No. No, thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye, and thank you.
Sorry about the mess.
It will be cleaned up.
Walks over, takes a half-drank bottle of the Grimari wine.
A souvenir?
Oh.
Gladly.
Let's get
It's a half bottle of Ode to Grimari. It has Ode to Grimari on the label.
Aw.
Cheers.
Have a wonderful day.
Turn
And immediately as you're
my
turning, you
forehead.
see Lem kind of motioning to the guy who was there with the pitcher, and this time he has a mop that's like shaking in his hands. And he kind of comes over and gets to mop up the kind of sweat and a little bit of blood that's on
Could
the
have been
floor
worse,
there.
buddy.
Yeah, could have been
So
worse.
much worse.
Yeah, when that was happening, he was like, no.
Don't you
You push the heavy door of Coletta Sophia out. You feel the warm, kind of humid air of Nagarwis wash over you. Where are you headed?
blink with my like freshly bruised kind of forehead here and pop the cork off and just like give a hard draw out of the bottle and cork it back up. And then I'm going to just give a little glance of where a nice walking path might lead from here.
Okay, so Holda de Field is in that kind of little nook in the back of Nagarwis. Do you want to go back out to the main road and then take a look around?
Well, yeah, like in my head, is there somewhere near like the gatehouse where there's kind of a nice path by the water kind of thing?
The main road goes along the water, and
Okay.
it's pretty scenic. In that one kind of
I'll head in that direction.
Okay, you head out towards the main road, and we'll say that's where you find Orba heading in your direction. You guys sort of meet up just north of the Melvin Hoggs Memorial, so you're kind of north of the center of town a little bit. So Orba has come. You see her kind of shuffling quickly along the path there.
Hi.
Hello. How did it go?
No more curse.
That's good.
Yep.
Are you all right?
I was gonna point to the wine bottle.
Oh, would you like some?
Oh, is this the Malafair wine?
It's the Grimari one?
Grimari makes wine?
I don't remember.
Orba's
It says
gonna chug
Grimari on it, yeah.
Orba's gonna go for a nice hard swig.
I think I have a description of the
You
I do.
Oh.
A dry and full-bodied white.
Oh.
It's
Oak-
a white?
It is. Oak-aged with bourbon notes and a zesty apple flavor. Touch of tropical with vanilla and toasted caramel.
Nothing like a room temperature white wine.
On a humid day.
Yeah.
Well, with my hot hands.
That it is a Mullafair wine, right?
You don't know that for sure. It was served at
Yeah,
the Mullafair
yeah.
tasting, yes, but
whether they
One.
yeah, there was a couple that were
Stunk
for
it.
sure Mullafair wines. That one wasn't one of them. That was produced by them.
well,
That's not too bad.
a toast to a successful contract on my end.
Yeah?
100 gold.
No way.
Yes.
Okay, so 30 of that goes to, debt?
I'll take out the thing. Yes, I should be able to turn this in at the Broken Crown and put 30 of it towards the ring. Yes.
That's excellent news.
Paying our debt.
Yeah, our debt. Good job.
I wasn't able to meet with Burmese, although, actually, have you seen anyone out for a walk?
Give me a perception check now because you're just looking around, and give me an investigation check, sort of trying to recall if you passed anyone of that.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
What the? 5.
8.
8. I mean, if you passed her, she must have been wearing a cloak to disguise her appearance to not be sort of
Oh, yeah.
approached.
Hat and sunglasses.
Yeah, because when you saw her at the concert, she had this sort of very sort of outward flamboyant appearance that was very beautiful and detailed, but you definitely did not see anyone that immediately made you think of that now, and you can't see. And Nagarwis is not big. You look up and down the road. There's a few people walking around, but no one matches that.
Hey, you.
Yeah, I'm Vermisio.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's probably a foolish endeavor anyway.
No, it's not a foolish endeavor. Do you have any other ideas?
What, to speak to her?
Yeah, like just leave a note or something. We love leaving notes. Usually those go well.
No. I'd rather do it in person. Anyway, how would I want to ask her questions. How would she get back a hold of me? She's headed north after this. She's headed to Dillisoon.
Oh, right.
Maybe
Okay.
we'll see her along the road, or where we're headed towards the Rapra. Would somebody kind of go that way towards Dillisoon?
They would break
off?
to the west, yeah, but you would
it
head
would
north
start-
first, usually, yeah, unless you're taking it.
There's no
but she's-
harm in leaving a note.
Orba starts reaching into her bag.
What would I say?
I don't know. You're the one that wants to talk to her. Why would I have to know?
I want to ask her about songs and legends. She's gonna think I'm some crazed lunatic.
You weren't planning on saying who you were?
Maybe not explicitly.
That would seem to be the way to get her attention, no?
I thought there was a chance that she might recognize me immediately.
From what?
The stories of a cleric of light.
Their stories?
Well, I don't know for certain, but I've told you this. I've told you that there are some that have recognized me by sight,
Oh, right.
knowing of my deeds.
And you think she would
I don't know.
like you, like you?
She is
you-
a storyteller.
Yeah.
She gathers stories.
Yeah. So she would know you by like reputation or know you?
I'd like to ask her.
Ah, that's a bold question, Graven. Not judging it, but that's a bold question.
Hence why I didn't want to just
Yeah,
leave
okay.
a note.
Let's
Have
not
you
leave
heard
a note.
about
I
how
don't-
many people?
Yeah, okay. You're right. This is a delicate matter.
Yes.
I trust your judgment, and I will say no more.
Maybe we'll cross paths with her again.
Okay.
Let's go sell our spells.
Yeah, let's go.
Do you want to tell me anything about what
I
happened
was
with
gonna
you?
reach for the wine again. Chug.
Maybe later.
Okay.
Maybe later.
All right. Well, what time is it at this point?
You probably both spent maybe an hour at your respective destinations.
So it's only about 7:30.
We'll call it 8-ish, yeah, with the sort of travel time.
We
We'll say
could
8-ish.
we could walk to Umber in an hour, right?
It's what was it? It's an hour and a half between townships.
Yeah.
Maybe I was going to say maybe we could have a leisurely walk to Wamparni now, but I think we're on a tight enough schedule that we should take the Steeder.
As possible, yeah. Sorry.
It's fine.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
All right.
See your way.
I start to head to the Steeder.
Hey, I'm Graven, big fan. May have killed her family.
Yeah.
He just goes. He's like, nothing.
Is this bringing
Seared
up
into your
any
nightmares at all?
flashbacks for you? Oh my god.
And we go back over to Nauma. And at the gates of Battle Ready, a pair of tired-looking, partially armored guards. They're using hooks on the ends of these long poles, and they're unfastening banners from the exterior walls, taking down the decorations from the training grounds of the jousting from the night before. And off to the west, you can see where the road crosses back over the river. Potentially your point of exit when you leave the city behind, depending on how close you want to travel alongside Trickster's Thicket, and whether you might want to approach the Broken Crown outpost that was supposedly overtaken by bandits. Overseeing the removal of the banners and folding them in neat piles by the door is a balding man in his 50s with a loose robe and a kind of round face. You think you recognize him as one of Sarn's bookkeepers at the graduation ceremony when you first came here. He was one of the scribes that was taking down who was interested in signing up for Sarn's program.
Okay.
And as you kind of approach, he seems to recognize you right away, sort of sees you.
Safira, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm Mr. Berg, one of Mr. Darrow's accountants.
Right.
I have some good news and some bad news if you've come to meet with Sarn.
Yeah, sure, I'll have the bad first, I suppose.
They're sort of the same news.
Oh, right. Well, then just at
I'll
the
just
same...
give them at the same time.
Sure, right.
Well, your positive referral to the Broken Crown did not go unnoticed, and Mr. Darrow has been summoned by Lieutenant Colonel Warber.
Oh, brilliant.
I believe they're discussing payment and potentially some additional employment opportunities.
Oh, right, okay.
Sort of looks for... I don't know how much Mr. Darrow told you, but Sarn has a known history of opposition to the Broken Crown when they were trying to set up a base of operations here in Navikapura. Now, Sarn gave up that fight long ago,
Okay.
but recently he learned of a unique job opportunity offered by the Broken Crown that would take him actually off of the continent, some sort of battlemaster training on one of the other continents. A job that he wants very, very badly.
Where is it, incidentally?
Presidium, I think.
Presidium, okay.
Yes. And he wanted this job very badly, but he had to smooth things over with Lieutenant Warber.
Right.
And he's been doing sort of small things to garner favor with the Broken Crown, and he was hoping that your recommendation would be the final push that he needed to be assigned this post.
And so it was.
Yes.
Right.
So they are discussing that right now.
Oh, right, okay. Will he be back at some point today, or can I wait around for him, or is it not going to be today?
Regretfully, Mr. Darrow was not confident that he'd have time to spare for your training today.
Right.
But because he is aware that you might be departing from Navikapura, he's written up a collection of notes that may
Okay.
help you master one of the techniques that he had mentioned.
Oh, right, that would be brilliant. I mean, I can try it on my own, I
Yes,
suppose.
I am so authorized to pass on these notes.
Oh, okay. Cheers, mate.
See, like, he's training dolls to fight.
As well as he also left a pair of specialized arrows that he claimed were left over from his day's training with a Vecro Hollis.
Oh,
He
right.
believes that these arrows,
And he sort of looks at a note that Sarn had made.
better focus your spiritual efforts when
Oh.
using your weapon.
Huh.
I'm afraid I don't know much more other than that.
Okay, right.
Sans notes
Sounds
on
good.
training and
Okay.
the arrows as well.
Right, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that the recommendation worked out for him.
Yes, he was very excited when he was summoned by Lieutenant Colonel Warber, so he has you to thank, I suppose.
Right, you don't know anything else about the job. He's just training, doing the same thing he's doing here, I suppose, but for the Broken Crown, I'm assuming he's working?
Sort of.
Directly, or?
My understanding is that the Asimars in Presidium have a very specialized form of hand-to-hand combat techniques.
I had heard that, yes.
And Mr. Darrow wished to learn these techniques, and the Broken Crown wanted to send someone to learn the techniques and then bring them back to train Broken Crown soldiers with these techniques.
Oh, right, that makes
And
sense.
Mr. Darrow wished to occupy this post, so...
Is there a reason that specifically happened now, or?
What specifically happened?
I mean, that the Broken Crown wants to train their soldiers in this sort of special way? Do they not like the way they've been training them so far? I mean,
Honestly, I think just better preparedness.
Right.
I don't know.
Seems unique, is all.
Yes, I'm assuming that the technique must be worthy to pay for someone to go all the way to Presidium. That's quite a long way.
Right. Well, I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you for passing this along. Tell him I say hello and thanks if you see him.
I will. Is there anything else? Is that all?
Yeah, he had actually mentioned that he had something that can test extract just to make sure that it's not tainted.
Yes, I think I was supposed to give you that the last time you were here and you left in sort of a hurry.
I know, I'm sorry.
No,
I
that's
meant to
fair.
get that from you.
Please,
Have it.
just a moment.
Yes, thank you.
Sort of heads in through the gates there, and the two guys just kind of... Hi.
Hi. Joust go, alright?
Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
Bring it down. So lowering the pole, the banner is kind of coming down the wall. And as he's inside and they're bringing the banners down, you're kind of waiting out here, you see someone, sort of a well-dressed human man who's leading a group of varying ages but younger kids. It looks like a lot of the same kids that were out in the field training with Sarn that time that he passed by. And one person's kind of leading him. He's like, come on, let's go. And this group gets closer and closer to the door. So as they get closer, Mr. Berg comes back out and he has like the little thing in a jar. I believe this is what you're looking for.
Right, yes, thank you.
The children are here for today's lesson. You'll have to excuse me.
Oh, no, of course.
Welcome, boys and girls. Unfortunately, Mr. Darrow is not available this morning, and there's kind of a You will be learning from Mr. Landy instead. Mr. Landy! All right, come on. He sort of ushers them inside. Have a lovely day.
Cheers, mate, thank you.
Yeah. Heads inside.
I don't have time to teach a class of children.
What else are you doing?
This! I'm learning the thing!
Get on the road.
So as you take a look over your notes, where are you headed after this, Safira?
I want to try to find a place that looks like it's an open sort of place where I could maybe actually like practice this because I have I have some time here.
I mean,
is there a
some
place I can go?
Open areas in Upa that you've seen. Well, off the bridge to the west that you're nearby is like that's out of Navikapura. You become like in the woods basically, or like at least on the path. There's also the farmland to the north, like Boffin Estates and things. And then there's the big open courtyard and the Upa Ale House. South of the river, on the south side of the river is fairly south of Lepatro is fairly unoccupied as well.
I don't want to go south of Lepatro, I don't think.
No, thank you.
I don't really want to go to Lepatro. I think... Yeah, the courtyard, the Uba Ale House, I think is fine outside. Does it matter, I guess? It doesn't matter if it's a public place, does it?
Spiritual place. Yeah, the note is more specific about... I thought you were just looking to, practice, not actually do it.
Oh, no, I would like to actually try to do, if I can.
Then you would need to find a place that kind of fits the description. It's asking for,
I literally hadn't even read the first thing. Find a place in nature with a strong spiritual affiliation.
Uba Ale House.
Uba Ale House.
Knock them back, wrap them up.
Alright, that's my religion. A sacred grove, a blessed garden, an enchanted lake.
Well,
I don't know any
little Buddhas, like with the tummy that you rub or something.
I don't know any
Just like a wash basin that's like sparkling. I don't know.
I don't know any sacred groves or blessed gardens around here, though, do I?
No. Ask someone.
Roll for... No, you don't.
Okay, cool. Well,
You don't know shit.
I am actually going to ask someone.
Okay.
These guards are still here, right? If I haven't sort of moved away.
Yeah, they're still taking the stuff down.
And I'm kind of. Wait,
Yeah.
bit of a strange question. But do you know anywhere that's like a sacred grove or like a blessed garden or
And you
perhaps
look
an
at this
enchanted lake?
Guard in his menial guard attire, and you watch his eyes like glaze. The second you say like enchanted, and sacred, he's like, I have no idea where you would find that.
But like maybe a place that's nice in the forest,
I mean,
like with good.
Trickster's Thicket is to the west.
Trickster's-
The elves seem to like nature.
Right, I suppose that's sort of a sacred grove.
Yeah,
Right. Well, thank you. Cheers.
sure. And he sort of looks back up. He seems like he thought he helped.
Do I know when you said the elves are like? Is there a spiritual connection with Trickster's Thicket? Like
Maybe not the whole thicket itself, but there's
Okay.
probably usually the elves, as you've learned passing through the Ackley Grove and stuff, there are areas that are meaningful spiritually to the elves, but
okay. And Trickster's Thicket is where? How far?
just to the. Does somebody have their map?
Just to the
I mean,
west.
you couldn't walk there like now. It's like half a day's journey.
I don't have the big map.
Oh yeah, it's
That is a big map.
I mean, you could walk there, but
Yeah, I got you. No, that's not the big map.
like you guys might be walking just along the eastern edge
Oh,
of it
like
as
when
you
we
head
leave
north.
later.
Yes, as
Yeah,
you head
yeah.
north. Nobody has their big map.
Oh yeah, I got you right here.
What's up, guys?
I got it.
What's happening?
Did with it.
What are we doing? I gotcha.
My backstory's written on the back.
I gotcha.
Oh, great. I need to put the other one. There we go.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. So you guys are in Navikapura, which is right there. It's hard to kind of see on. Navikapura is right there, and then this is Trickster's Thicket, just to the
thing.
Okay,
yeah, the whole
okay,
thing is
okay.
Trickster's. It's a big forest, but
Okay.
We're going north.
I know.
But to go north, you might,
have-
if
I was
you leave
gonna
out
say,
of
I might have to
Nagupa, you might be
pass.
walking along the edge of Trickster's
So if
Thicket.
we're passing it. Okay.
Where'd she go?
All right, cool. I am going to head to the ale house then.
Alright, back in the direction of the ale house. As she heads back,
Free time now.
I mean,
we're gonna go over to Erland, who's rattling his way through the Steederway on his way to Wamparani, but we're gonna take a break first. We
Did you
have
get
hit the
Birch?
halfway mark. Roll for Birch. It's a
What dice do I roll?
I think it's 8 of them. Let me
roll
get
for
the
our
Steederway.
favorite
Oh, no,
handler.
those are low odds, man.
Yeah, give me a D8.
Oh,
Birch.
Which number? You should roll for him so he doesn't know what it is. 3.
No.
No!
God, one you haven't had before, I don't think.
Oh,
Estelle, handler
Fuck
Estelle.
Hey, she's doing her goddamn job.
Estelle's my least favorite one.
She's the worst one.
She's the
She gives
worst
you a
one.
very bumpy ride.
Yeah, it's
Birch
very
was
bumpy.
5.
Yeah, Birch is smooth.
Oh,
It's
I
a
do.
smooth ride with Birch.
Smooth ride.
So as Erland's moving through the tunnels quickly on his way from Wamparani, on his way from Naupa to Wamparani Na, and hopefully to meet Tessa Pleasance over in Wamparani Na, that's where we're gonna take a little break.
Oh my
I prefer
god.
how Estelle doesn't try to talk to me, and she just lets me have a quiet ride.
There you go. There you go.
I
5
prefer
stars,
that. He doesn't think
Estelle.
he's the shit because
Yeah.
Birch is like too good for
Oh my
everybody.
god.
So now we gotta tell
Number 4 talks politics. It's a nightmare.
we gotta tell Cliff about Estelle too. She doesn't talk, she doesn't say anything.
Smooth ride.
Smooth ride.
Birch is like, what the fuck, man?
Couple things to shout out really quickly. Havoc gifted 2 subs. Mahi Mahi Boxer gifted 3 subs. There's like there's some gift battling happening.
Oh my.
And then Viking Plague 88 subs. Thank you very much.
Seriously, thank
Very
you
nice.
so much. A
Wanna
couple fun little developments there.
Say what happens at break.
Please.
Usually do that. And you
What
pause.
happens?
What happens?
You pause.
You're gonna stay right where you are and then watch the second half. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, there's a
Nice.
recap.
So, about like 2.5 minutes into the video of our Be Right Back screen, you get the recap of last episode. Every episode has a 5-minute recap called Too Long Didn't Watch on our YouTube channel. And then you also get our like chapter 1, session 0 like plot summary, because that one is not available. This one gives you like a basis of what our world is and how our characters kind of came into contact with one another. So enjoy that 10-minute delight, and then we'll be back after that.
Awesome. We'll be back. Quick 15 minutes. And we'll find out what happens in Wamparani Na. Be right back, everybody.
Yeah.
See you on the other side.
10-minute delight sounded weird.
Oh.
didn't it?
Yeah.
We're good.
See ya.
I expect spectacles.
We're live.
Welcome back, everybody. Chapter
At least
title.
I can say something
We
off
expect
color.
spectacles.
When would we say
I don't know
that?
what I would say.
Welcome back, everybody. We're gonna be hopping back into chapter 98, Deep Beneath the Veil. But before we do,
Havoc gifted 6 more subs, and Mahi Mahi also gifted 2. Mahi
Yes.
Mahi Boxer, sorry, gifted 2. Thank you both
Thank
so
you.
very
Thank
much.
you.
I don't.
If you're on a first name basis with Mahi Mahi, that's what you can.
Yeah.
Delicious.
we hope you continue to enjoy as we dive back in and head over to Wamparani Na. Erland gets up out of the Steederway. You feel a changing of the air a little bit back in Naupa, sort of that humid air coming in without the breeze coming in off the river. But you step up out of the Steederway just a little bit north of the Militia Reserve, and you find yourself in the busy central hub that is Wamparani Na. Where are you headed?
I'm going to head to the the west to go to Tessa Pleasance's.
Alright. Start to head through the narrow but orderly streets of Fangle. You work your way to the northwest, passing by window after window where citizens are enjoying a meal, filling idle time, wrangling children that would rather be playing outside. The residential feel of this area is a welcome change of pace, a far cry from the hyperactivity of the ports or Bow Myrtle, and without the uneasiness of somewhere like Lepatro. Something at the end of the block catches the light, and it sparkles a little bit. Almost like you'd see the reflection off of a fountain in someone's front yard. But it's static, it's not moving like water. You realize the shimmering texture is not water but glass, a 5-foot sculpture of a bouquet of roses, with beautiful detailing around the petals, the leaves, the thorns. In a few places you see some cracks and chunks missing, hard to tell if it's just weathered over time or vandalized by mischievous youths. There's bay windows that reveal an interior that's filled with, though smaller, very beautiful baubles and ornaments, glass-blown colors, shapes of many kinds. And inside, a brown-haired half-elf woman with a high ponytail kind of paces among her wares. with thin eyebrows and a very small pair of spectacles, and she's wearing a heavy brown smock. She examines pieces, almost like she's taking inventory. She'll pick one up, kind of put it back in its place, look along this long table that has all these little glass baubles. And in between scrutinizing some of the items, you can't see your arms kind of below the table, but she'll look at something and then pull up a bottle of spirits of some kind. Take a swig,
Doing the same thing.
couple steps down, picks up another piece, kind of shakes her head disapprovingly, takes another swig from whatever bottle she's carrying.
Is there like a store name or something, or does it seem to be her private residence?
Both. I mean, it's not uncommon for someone to be selling.
Yeah, but I just mean like, does it seem to be like overtly a store, or the kind of thing where you need to make an appointment to see her?
Definitely not an appointment, but it looks like she's at least devoted like the first room you step into to her wares. There might, like, the house looks bigger, so there might be other rooms that are her private residence, but there's at least like a storefront in the sense that she has this room that has all of her glassware.
And it's huge, like the flowers are huge. Like
The one outside is. There's like a big bouquet of roses sculpture outside, but inside there's little things. There's vases and bottles and glass trinkets.
So I'll
and
go up to the
things.
door and
Right.
knock.
Come on in.
Sorry, I didn't know if you needed an appointment or something.
Well, hello, valued fucking customer. What can I do for you on this fine fucking day?
Is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's fucking fine.
Okay.
Not a lot of people come in at this hour. So what do you need?
It's a little early, I suppose. Well,
Give me a perception check also.
Yes. After my own heart.
perception 8.
8. As she's waving the bottle around, you get a very clean sight of it. There's a band of the benefactor on one of her fingers as she's like waving the bottle of liquor
bad
around.
girl.
And she goes up to swig, and you see it very clearly there on her right ring finger, and pulls it back down.
Well, I just believe we have a mutual acquaintance, a friend, perhaps. I don't know your relationship with him, but
Okay, if you don't get to the fucking
Marvin
point,
Bishop, do
you're
you
gonna
know-
hear two sounds. One is me taking a swig from this bottle, and the other's me slamming the fucking door.
Marvin Bishop. Do you know Marvin Bishop?
Yeah, I know Marvin Bishop.
All right. Well, I have some bad news. I don't know if you're friends with him, but he's been kidnapped.
I wouldn't say we're fucking friends.
All right. I found a number. I tried to rescue him yesterday, and I found a number of diagrams left behind by his sort of assailants. One of them was this.
And even before you show it to her, you already see her like nodding her head, almost as if she kind of knows what's coming.
And I was curious what this was and if it ever came to fruition or if it was simply a prototype.
Yeah, I remember the item. Marvin, because he ain't a fucking fool, recognized my talent back when I lived in Tuktu. He had all kinds of scientific equipment with precise specifications that needed a skilled fucking hand in glassblowing and ceramic. We met Swap and Spittle at the Scale House after a particularly titillating performance by a traveling theater troupe, and he commented on the craftsmanship of my glasses. He asked who had them commissioned, and I said, "It's me, you fucking idiot. I'm the one who made them." Anyway, therein lay the beginnings of a professional and occasionally personal relationship that lasted until I moved up north. Ain't heard from him in a good long while.
Did it seem from that story and when she said personal relationship like they were romantically involved? Would
Yes.
that be
Swapping
Oh,
spittle.
yes. Oh, it does.
Spittle.
Okay.
Yes, Marvin, get it!
Says hello.
Yes, it did.
Great.
That there that you have, it's a design that we never quite perfected. Was supposed to get a set of goggles that, with whatever modifications Marvin made at the Institute, enchantments or whatever, detected sickness and weakness. You could put them on and tell if someone was poisoned or diseased or not sound of mind or whatever. That was the theory, anyway. As far as I know, he made just the one prototype. Didn't work in the way he wanted, and after much fucking maligning, he gave up on it.
The prototype was made while he was in Mukmu or while he was in Tuktu with you?
No, he was never in Tuktu. I came to Mukmu sometimes it'd be the other way, but we never lived in the same city at the same time.
No, he perhaps left the prototype behind then when he was taken.
No, he left it with fucking me.
Oh. He also left these other diagrams as well. Do you know any of these others? And I'll show her the other ones.
No.
Does that seem true?
Make an
And she is only a glass.
7.
Yeah, I mean, without knowing her very well, it's hard to pick up on any of her cues that she sort of...
Well, look, I'm I am intent on rescuing Marvin, some way, somehow. I believe his life is in danger, and any tools I may have at my disposal would be useful. If you still have this, I would very much appreciate it.
I had it in my possession for a while. I asked for it when it wasn't of use, just to show off my skill with lenses so I could pitch my craft to others.
Sure.
But I sold it sometime back to Palomer. No idea if he still has it in his little fucking tinker's workshop he's got.
Paloma Franco, the one who just across the way, yes?
Yeah.
How long ago did you sell it to him?
Fucking, I don't know. 6 months? 7 months?
Oh, goodness. And you wouldn't be able to make another one of these, would you?
You want me to make another pair of fucking glasses that don't work?
I thought it doesn't work at all.
No. That was the point. Marvin thought you'd be able to put them on, look at someone, and tell if they were sick, but it never worked that way.
How did it work then?
Didn't seem to work at all. It's supposed to make people a different sort of shade of color when you put them on. But we'd see people with that shade of color, and it turns out they weren't fucking sick, so...
What sort of sickness was he trying to identify?
Any kind of sickness. Diseases, common ailments, whatever.
And other people would turn what? Would everyone turn the same color, or...?
No, Marvin theorized that the different colors, based on the lenses and the enchantments, you could tell what they were sick with. Therein lay the benefits. If you knew ahead of time what someone was ailing with, you could cure them or whatnot.
But in reality, would you only see one color in certain people, or...?
No, in reality, you'd have two people that were sick with the same thing, and they were different colors, or you'd have someone you knew was sick, and they didn't turn any colors at all. So the thing was fucked.
Do you believe it was your truly excellent work, but do you believe it was his sort of science, or do you believe it was the glass making that was the problem?
He didn't seem to think it was the glasses. Or he never said so, anyway.
He studies a great number of things. What sort of properties were sort of surrounding the glasses, do you know, that were allowing you to see the sicknesses?
I don't know. Whoever he took him to after I made him to make him magical, I didn't have any part to do with that.
So it was magic in nature, not physical or sort of natural.
My understanding was that someone who didn't have any skill in magic could still use them, but that the items themselves were magical, yes.
All right. Well, your work is quite wonderful, and I'd perhaps like to see if Paloma Franco would be willing to part with them.
Sure, be my fucking guest.
Are they for sale, do you think?
She sort of... You should ask him, he'll like that.
Goodness. All
Look,
right.
Marvin and I... We wasn't in a relationship, but we was more than friends, I guess, for a while. An arrangement that he was fully fucking fine with, unlike his dwarven colleague, who for a time desired exclusivity that I wasn't keen to bear. Especially with his tendency to fuck off across the ocean at a moment's notice. She takes another pull of the bottle.
Yes.
Oh, so you were also romantically engaged with, his, Grimari, was it?
Romantically engaged. That's a fine fucking sentence.
You were sleeping with Grimari?
Yes. And when he left for Ka'ira, he gave me some stupid little way to stay in touch. Not that I ever fucking used it. Got better things to do than make fucking doodles and read his hackneyed fucking poetry.
This page, you say?
I didn't say it was a page.
It's a page. Marvin mentioned it to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's how I was communicating with Marvin while he was kidnapped. A, mirrored inscription spell, I assume?
He never fucking explained it to me.
It's-
Not that I would have listened if he did.
Look, has Grimari been in contact with you recently, then?
He contacted me for a while when he was over in Ka'ira, and I never responded. He eventually gave up.
What was he saying to you while he was in Kira?
I told you he wrote poetry.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Was it any good?
No.
Figures. Well, look. Do you still have that mirrored inscription page? Because anything I can do to try and get Marvin back, anything that will help, I would greatly appreciate.
You think Marvin's got the other end of that page?
I think that there's a chance.
Grimari can help, if Grimari even still has the other side to the inscription page, I think there's a chance that Grimari would also want Marvin back.
And what exactly is a total fucking stranger gonna offer me that I should do them such a favor?
Well, you don't even like the page, do you?
It might have value.
Whatever you want, honestly, I want to get Marvin back. I know very few people on this continent, and he is one of the few who I consider my friend.
Make a persuasion check.
Come on.
17.
She kind of looks you up and down, and her hard exterior softens ever so slightly. What's that on your fucking finger?
Pardon me, was one.
The other ring you got, dumbass.
Idiot.
Part of why I'm here required me to get this. How about yours?
Maybe 3 years ago, I was contacted by an alchemist in Tuktu named Silberos, Nuvian Silberos. He wanted a huge quantity of vials and bottles that were extra insulated for whatever great new fucking potion he was working on. I fulfilled the order, some of my best fucking work, I might add, and I took a carriage south to deliver them myself. As I was enjoying catching up with old friends, Mr. Silberos put the vials to use, and in the process of his testing, blew up his fucking lab and got himself nearly killed. There was an investigation, and because rich people stick together like shit and flies, my faulty wares were deemed partially responsible. And if he wasn't experimenting with all manners of volatile substances, they just ignored that. I was slapped with the band of the benefactor and ordered to repay a portion of the damage done. Now, do you know how expensive alchemist shit can be? I'll be wearing this ring for the next fucking decade.
How much, if I may ask?
They're not just gonna let you pay it off.
I don't have that. Sir gesturing to himself. I don't have that sort of money.
To add insult to injury, Mr. Silberos is close with Niels, who lives over in Naupa. So once a month, I'm to pop over for a visit and say, hello, Mr. Bogus, sir. Here's your things for my fucking profits. So tell your scumbag fucking friend I said hello. That's what I say to him every time I go over.
Niels?
Niels and Silberos are friends. Niels has been tasked with making sure that I keep my repayments in a timely order.
Niels isn't my friend.
I was speaking as if I was talking to Niels.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Niels isn't gonna let you pay the money even if you got it.
No, Niels... I don't like Niels much either.
I don't really give a shit if you do or not.
Great.
My point here is, if you want to see any part of that fucking page, you'll go talk to Niels and see if there's a way I can get this fucking thing off.
All right. All right. He does not like me, but all right. Like I said, there's very few people on this continent that I know. I've got this band of the benefactor for saving a friend's life. I'm good at saving lives.
Bully for you.
I'll go talk to Niels.
Fine.
And hopefully, I can bring Marvin back into your arms soon.
I don't want Marvin back in my fucking arms.
Just for a night, I mean.
I don't want that either. I have moved on.
Oh.
And from the looks of you, maybe you should too. Nothing but fucking trouble, those two.
Certainly from Marvin's end, I know that, but I don't like leaving people behind. I'll go talk to Niels.
Fine.
Thank you, Tessa.
I'll try to be awake. And she fucking... Oh my god. Takes another big swig.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Head out.
Sorry, where the fuck are my spectacles? How dare you!
I'll ask for... You gave me money for saying 4 gold.
Okay.
Pick me up some spectacles. There you go.
After all that, Erland's like, look over there. Takes a couple of things.
That was fun.
Where am I heading? Against my better judgment, I am going to head south towards the water and the bridge in front of Sons of Doddle's house.
Okay. Heading towards the
You
bridge over the river.
Gotta be kidding.
If you end up in some trap, we're leaving you there.
Stuck in a
we
bear
are
trap.
leaving
Yes.
Haviclora without you.
All right, you head over the Navika Bridge.
So before I head over the bridge, I want to
Okay.
go down
You
to
get
the like water, the river.
Okay.
Right, if I
On
if I
which
could-
side of the river?
on
You
the-
haven't crossed the bridge.
Without crossing the bridge, and I want to first go down. So I guess like right behind the general store,
Yeah.
which is over there. So I want to sort of go down by the riverbank. No one's around. Is anyone fishing or anything like that? Or
Not fishing in the river because this is close to the docks, but the area's busy. I mean, this is Swamp Running, not during peak hours.
Well, I guess that's true.
The whole place is swarming. You're walking right along the path. But you're not at it, but all hands on deck is right down the street from here. So
that's fine. So I'm just gonna sort of crouch down by the water and throw some water on my face first.
Okay.
And then, sort of hunched over so that people can't overtly see, I want to pull out the earring that I got off of Shakkar.
With the ear
And
that's
I-
attached to
Yeah,
Yep.
and I want to
No,
start,
just-
and I in the water and sort of in the gravel and dirt and rocks. I want to try and clean off the bits of Shakkar.
Sure,
And-
part of his ear is still attached.
Yeah, that's what I
to it.
mean.
Are
Is I
you-
want to try and like clear it off with rocks, scrape
Give
it
me a
off.
dexterity check. Are you trying to literally like get the ear off of the
Yeah, I
ear?
want to clean it so I just have like a pure earring rather
Give me a
than
dexterity check.
Who are
He's gonna
you?
walk by and be like, what
18.
18.
Yeah.
You submerge it in the water, and you know it's not like a hard portion of the ear. It kind of slips off, and you just let it slip, and you let go of it.
Yep.
Let go, and
And I sort of want to give it a sort of clean in the sand, clean it off so it looks nice.
And when you take it up out of the water, sort of brass serpent shines, kind of glints in the light there.
Dry it off and put it back in my bag.
You just-
And now I'll sort of brushing my face off again, climb back up, and go over the bridge and towards Sunset Doubles.
Okay, so you swing around the corner and you walk past. You can see collecting more donations is Chip Amberbelly, who you met that one time, because you were passing right by the soup
Yeah.
kitchen there. So he's talking to a few people. He has like a little basket. You just see him. You don't necessarily overhear anything he's talking about, but you
If
see.
he
that
looks at
they're
me, I'll
kind
give him a wave, but
Sure.
I'll walk
Yeah,
past.
he sort of. He might not clock exactly who you are, but gives you a friendly wave as you go by.
No.
You go around the corner, circle around, and there's kind of a fenced perimeter of the Amberbelly soup kitchen. So you get to the other side of this fenced-in sort of area that denotes the soup kitchen. And you can see, after that, a sizable residence. And its exterior is sort of, you can see the main portion of it faces you. So there's a back portion that faces the river, but you can see the main portion that faces you. And it's a series of like stone archways marking the perimeter of this porch that goes around 3/4 of the house. So it's a very large kind of overhanging area that leaves this nice kind of shaded. There's seats out in the front area that look a little dusty from having been used in some time, or at least a little weather worn. There's one small staircase on each end of this long front porch to allow access to the raised plot that was built to provide this very level foundation where the ground begins to slope toward the river. And you wouldn't have to be told that the person who lives or lived here was of means, and if the Amberbellies were to be successful in their bid for the property, this would make for quite a dining hall. Like, this would be a landmark worthy, or that would rival some of the better kind of eating establishments that you've seen in other cities. It's quite an endeavor for them to take on this property. And you also get the impression as you're looking at it that, and looking at the soup kitchen that you just passed, Sansa's might be giving them a hefty discount to allow them to purchase this property. It seems like they're friends, they go back a ways, like she wanted someone, because you're looking at this property, you can't imagine that he would be able to afford that through donations and whatever he was able to scrape together.
So I want to sort of being aware of perhaps any magical runes that I know to be traps, and anything physical like strings or anything.
Give me
I
a
want
perception check.
22.
22. So there's a few things. There's a plaque on the guardrail of the nearest staircase. It says Doddle. It's a sort of Doddle residence. You don't notice anything in the way of magical traps or booby traps or physical or magical or otherwise. And there is a guard at the front door that's sort of in basic, attire. He has a club with a metal end that's sort of at his waist, a simple set of leather armor, and a very basic kind of skull cap helmet. And on the top of the house, there is several gargoyles. That she has these kind of large gargoyles that are overlooking the edge of the house around the roof perimeter. And that's all that you notice. Nothing that looks suspicious at all.
And the sale hasn't occurred yet, correct?
No, definitely has not. Unless he got together that money very quickly. It certainly doesn't look like the sale has gone through.
Okay. I'd like to walk around the house to see if there's perhaps like a basement entrance or a back door or something.
Okay. If you walk around the back portion of the house, are you trying to sneak around? Because that would be a little
If I was
odd.
still outside the perimeter, could I not like?
It butts up right against the river there almost. So to see kind of the back portion of the house, you might have to like peek around kind of right at the riverbank there. You could take a look, but there's no foot traffic there, so that would be a little odd that you were walking there.
Okay, I'm just gonna walk down towards the river then.
Okay. Down towards the river, and you can kind of like see the back side of the house just by leaning over a little bit, and you certainly don't see any entrances, no basement doors or anything that looks like that.
Okay. Is there any guard at the back?
Give me a perception check.
Not one.
There definitely is not. The only thing that you kind of notice along the back is some heavy sets of vines that have grown down from the roof that are kind of trickling their way down and almost reach the base of the ground there.
There's a guy on the roof just like,
Oh, I get it.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
So
Gross Rapunzel.
Yeah.
let down your eyes.
All right, I'm gonna take just a second. I'll go back down to the water and like pretend I'm washing my hands, and I just want to take a second to see if I can see if I see any guards walking around. Perhaps, like if I give it 5 minutes, if anyone's doing a
Take a
route.
moment, clean your hands, sort of wash.
Can I
take a
see
look
the back of
and
the house
forth.
from the river?
Yes, like not well, but
Yeah, sure.
yes, you can. And you see no one. No one is circling the house. No one emerges. As far as you can tell, the only guard is posted at the front door of this house.
So I am going to. I assume I have to climb over like a little rock thing to get to the back of the house, or is it open?
So the back of the house is like almost right up against the river. So there's like a very thin riverbank that you could like shimmy along.
Great, I'm gonna do that.
If you do that, you're facing all the people on the other side of the river that are like walking on that street. Have a very clear view of you shimmying along the back of the house.
I see.
So yes, you can do that, but it would be someone would be like,
Am
"Why
I
is that guy
losing my mind, or is
shimmying?"
that guy shimmying?
Okay, I am going to. Oh my gosh. Oh, do you have the broken crown, Red?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like,
I need it.
Piss all over Kenrick.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
I love that.
oh my god.
Okay, I'll walk out back to the front of the house.
I don't think so.
And I'm going to sort of walk up the stairs towards the guard.
Okay. Start to head up the staircase, and he's not really paying much attention, but then he hears the footsteps kind of coming in. Oh, nobody allowed on the premises that ain't one of the Doddles. Sorry.
Oh, I was given, and I'm gonna pull out the key I got from Shakkar. It's not like bloody in any way, is it?
No, it was in his pocket.
I was given this key to sort of check in on the residents.
That doesn't look like one of the Doddle keys. The keys to our house have a little D on the end of it.
Oh, does this look like a key to anything? Have I been pranked?
I can take a look. Sorry, takes. I don't recognize it.
Is there anyone who could identify? I was told to check in. I'm new to town and I was looking for contract work, and someone gave me this key and said go check on the Doddles. They're probably trying to get me arrested or something. What would this be a key to?
Someone's trying to give you contract work and they said break into Sansa Doddle's
No,
house?
they said go check on it for the Doddles and gave me this key, and I assumed it was broken crown work. Perhaps someone was... I've been duped. I apologize. And I'll sort of put it back in my pocket and I'll walk away.
Sorry, couldn't help you.
It's all right. Thank you.
Leave him there, a little confused at the door.
Okay. Is there any noticeable insignia on the key, or?
No, it's pretty mundane.
Okay.
It's not like rusted, it doesn't seem terribly old, but it's not, there's nothing on it.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to head over to, Where the fuck is ball? Niels. Oh, there it is. I am going to go back to Niels Bogus in Upa. I'm going to get to the Steederway.
Back to the Steederway. Alrighty.
Thanks.
So you had just so I'm marking, this is 3, 2 more, 4,
We're at
5,
4.
and this would be the 6th ride through the Steederway here. As Erland heads back to the Steederway. But sort of backing up in time a little bit because they got an earlier start, getting out of the Steederway as well in Wampranina is Graven and Orba, who emerge once again as well, feeling that sort of fresh air cascading over your face as you get closer to the water. No longer that humid kind of, especially Nagarwis, kind of felt like the heat was sealed in there in those areas, but now a little cool air blowing over you. You emerge the Steederway. Graven once again emerges, and the first thing you see, a little off to your right and to the south, you take a look at the Militia Reserve. There's a guy outside the Militia Reserve right now, and he has a long pole, like a halberd, with a blade on the end, and he looks like he's trying to get a pair of shoes that's been tossed onto the top of the roof there. That's not Thorsten, but it's one of the green armored militia guys.
Okay.
But you step out into
sucking
Wampranina.
Well, I suppose let's go drop off the contract first.
Well, we're gonna be dropping off this one too.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Wanna just do it in bulk?
Save it strip. I guess let's try to get it over with as sooner the better. So
Sure.
let's go see if he has time for us now.
Sure. And I have to visit Franco. I have to pick up my urn.
Oh,
He was filling it, remember?
right.
So,
Huh.
whichever you prefer to do first.
Let's see if he can take us, and then if he
Both
can't
of those
take-
are in Fangle. They're both
Yeah.
very close by.
If he can't take us right away, then we'll go.
The artist.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Brian. Brian.
Bruce Fitzroy.
Got it.
Bruce Fitzroy.
Bruce.
Something like that.
Yes, to the artist's house.
Okay.
You head to Fangle. Very familiar to Graven at this point, sort of marveling at how often he's found his way into the residential area of Wampranina. You return to Bruce's kind of unassuming house, second row of homes north of the river. You keep a careful eye out for any flashes, booms, or rattles originating from inside. But you don't pick up on any such disturbances. The house seems rather quiet at the moment, which hopefully means that the floor is yours to demonstrate your arcane prowess. Something that you didn't notice before because it was dark out. Oh no, the first time you met it wasn't as dark, but you couldn't see as much around to the back of the house. There's a yard out back that has a heap of what look like training dummies. Sacks stuffed with straw, kind of erected on sticks. But many of them are damaged, and if you're not mistaken, with different substances. Some of them look charred, others look withered away, some look like covered in a caustic kind of substance that begun to melt the fabric. So he's had someone come and, demonstrate some other abilities, perhaps, and he's piled this pile of dummies in the backyard as he's discarded them one by one.
This place sees a lot of action.
You guys are outside of Bruce's house.
I wish I could have seen it all.
Didn't he say that he would ask who was here yesterday if they didn't mind being
identified?
Yeah. We should follow up about that.
Yeah, good idea. I
Right.
hope we know.
Let's go.
Okay.
Knock at the door. Just a minute! A little bit of shuffling. And the door kind of swings open, and Bruce is like in kind of a robe with gold trim down the middle. It kind of flutters as the door kicks open. Ha-ha! Just who I was hoping to see! Won't you please come in?
Yes.
Good morning. Okay.
Emotions inside.
Come on.
Slowly.
You guys start to step in. He motions you to enter. You walk past him into this surprisingly spacious study. From the outside, it actually looked like the house was 2 floors, or perhaps 1 floor and an attic. But it's actually just one giant open room. And even though it's not that much bigger than the surrounding homes, it feels kind of cavernous because it's been made just into one open studio space. And adding to this cavernous feel is the fact that all of the walls, floor to ceiling, are covered in a kind of slate or chalkboard material. So there's this grayish black texture that makes it feel almost underground. And all of the walls are covered in diagrams, like writing sketches. It looks like he has like motions of like people starting to prepare their spells
God.
as they kind of
Goodness.
like he's practicing drawings
How
before he
sweet.
commits it to his books there.
Orba, focus.
Oh,
Focus.
sorry.
And the one other thing that you notice is that in the far back right corner, it looks like there's a water pump that's like dripping a little bit. That might be there in case of emergency, if there's some kind of something that needs to be...
Hose her down.
Yep, needs to be
Oh my
spread away,
God.
splashed away. So he sort of welcomes you into this room.
As you can see, I am working very hard to bring some of the most detailed and accurate information to those who wish to study the arcane arts. Would you like to see a sample?
Yeah.
He reaches over and he has a stack of parchment that on the first page looks like it's someone kind of in a set position, kind of a wide stance, a little low in their weight in the body. And he takes it and he flips through it and you see like the...
It's
and like a
flip book.
flame coming out the end, and he has this very detailed flip book of one
my
particular
God.
wizard that he worked with, and then you see like the flame spouting out at the end, and he gets to the last page, and the person is in kind of like a finished position.
That is extraordinary.
Wait until you see yourself committed to my diary.
Really?
I hope so. So, what have you brought me today?
Graven?
Well, let's start. Simple.
Yes.
Light.
I would like to see that.
Good.
Now, I hope that I conveyed this as we met, but it is imperative that you slow down the casting of your spells as best you can.
Yes.
I'm a quick hand with the brush, but I am a mere mortal after all.
Understandable.
Exaggerate your somatics, so the layman, such as myself, can pick out every detail, or I'm afraid I won't be able to make a satisfactory portrayal.
Well, this one comes very quick and simple to me, so it'll be good practice to slow it
Excellent. I'm paying 30 gold per cantrip that you're able to successfully demonstrate.
down. Perfect. Do you have a preference for the color of the light?
Oh, surprise me! Wait, no! Green! No, surprise me.
All right.
Oh my God.
All right. An object, perhaps, something large and maybe a specific shape that you would like.
Kind of looks around.
Circular
What?
or...
He reaches over and there's kind of like a little a vase that has some flowers. He grabs the flowers. He like tosses them to the side. How about this?
Perfect, yes.
Hands you the bowl. It's kind of big for him. He's holding it in two hands, and then you kind of palm the bowl there.
All right, where should I stand?
Center of the room. Wait. He sort of goes over. He takes out a big thick piece of chalk, and he stands over at one of the walls.
Perhaps... Could you change maybe just one or two small things about my appearance?
I could give you horns.
No, maybe just...
Give him hair.
No, I can make you... All right.
Big long locks of
Muscles.
hair.
Less, just don't show my scars and perhaps change the color of my eyes. That's all I ask.
I can do that.
All right.
You don't wish to be documented.
He's self-conscious.
That's fine.
All right.
Begin! And he starts motions his arm in a big circle. He gets ready.
I hold it up the vase.
What do you do, Graven?
I take my broken symbol out and lay it out and give a little Lios.
Give me a D20 plus your spell casting modifier.
Okay.
Which for you is your wisdom modifier.
Right, yeah. I think it's
Not like a spell attack modifier.
spellcasting
Just your
ability
spellcasting
modifier.
ability modifier.
Yeah, that's a 3. All right, just a D20.
Yep, plus your spell count.
14.
14. Sort of exaggerate the gesture a little bit. He hears the incantation and the bowl begins to... What do you make it glow with?
Violet.
Of a nice violet light. And he sort of starts to draw. And he's not even looking at the thing. And he's
Oh my God.
Stupendous! A flawless execution of the most marginalized intricacies. And he begins to kind of draw across the wall there.
All right.
Good, I have it! What's next?
That's it.
Yes, you did it expertly.
Oh my god.
All right, I put that down.
The bowl crashes against the back wall.
So the chaos is just this guy. It's not even.
I have.
Fucking madness.
I could.
Rolling like menial
If you
spells.
brought me a drink of some kind,
Yes.
I could detect whether there was any poison in it.
Oh, yes.
Now, I could also do this ritually. And it would
I
take
had someone try to do that, but it was too slow. It did not capture the spells in its essence.
All right, fine. Calm emotions. I could calm the emotions in a room.
Get emotional.
Give me a performance check.
Oh my god.
Tries to cry. Performance?
Yeah.
15.
15.
Oh, it's
No! Calm her!
And this time, instead of the chalkboard, he has like an easel that he takes out. He dips in the paint.
Okay, all right.
Slow!
I'll kind of grip the symbol this time.
Slower.
Hylworth. And I'll like kind of make some motions there slowly.
What motions do you make? He's documenting every little detail.
I'll kind of, as though I'm like caressing some like unseen side of a head or something, and like cradling like Hylworth.
Give me a roll again.
Oh my god! With the
So
three,
this is a level
with the
2
three-
spell,
This is a
right?
level
Yeah.
2 spell. 17.
Yes! Your likeness will be known in every library across Antisuyu.
Just don't put the man.
How does that feel?
Much better.
She looks much better.
And
You
I'll
feel your emotions calm.
I am the calmest I've ever been.
Excellent.
And he takes the easel, he puts it to the side, and it's facing away from you. And when he puts it down, it's incredible. Like the speed at which it's a sketch. It's not in
Yeah.
full detail, but like he has like you caressing the figure and like an Orba crying to the side, like tears coming out of your eyes on both sides.
Like anime crying.
Yeah, like big waterfall ears or waterfall tears. Waterfall ears.
All right.
Have you anything more for me?
It might get a little fiery.
Oh, he runs over to the pump.
Oh my god, no!
I could conjure a sheet of flame between my fingers.
Directed at that wall. I had it reinforced for this very purpose.
Oh my god!
Are you ready?
Yes.
He has like a little sketchbook there.
Helig Ild.
And the flames kind of emerge. Give me another spellcasting.
Oh my god.
Come on.
Moved out of the way instinctively.
9. The flames go out, and at the last second, you feel that it's a little difficult to control, and the fire comes out in kind of a big burst and puff, and he sort of is looking down. Oh, I missed it. I missed the last part.
All right.
Do it again.
I will.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Give me another roll.
Come on, Gravy.
Ooh, 22.
22. And the flames, this time, like, it sparks at your fingertips first and then emerges into a bigger and bigger pulse of flame, and it lights up the wall, and you're sort of nervous a little bit because it hits the wall, but it seems to be reinforced. It kind of, the flames linger on the wall for a bit and then slowly start to peter out, and he's pumping the pump immediately after he finishes the sketch. And he,
Oh my god.
My God.
Yes.
I think it was capable
Excellent.
of
Please.
I've got one of each for you now. A cantrip and some more powerful spells.
Yes, hold on, let me just... I could perhaps do
Yes,
one
do that.
more.
Whatever it is, do it.
All right,
Oh,
the
baby.
drink, the detecting disease or poison.
Yes.
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 Our wine bottle.
Oh, yes.
I've got a better idea.
Oh,
he goes over to a
Yes, poison.
takes out a bottle, and as it's sloshing, the liquid looks very thick. It looks kind of this nasty ichor that's sort of sitting at the bottom of the bottle.
No, you don't need the spell for that. No, don't drink that.
I'll
I'll do the board again.
All right, ready? Dark boat.
Give me a spellcasting check there. What motions do you make as well?
This one I'll kind of like have something like around near my face, as well as like reaching out to draw from the item there.
Oh.
5. So you do that drawing motion, and there's like a flicker in your sightline of like the liquid kind of pulses with an energy that you recognize as being poisoned or diseased, but it happens just in an instant. It just kind of fades out immediately. Nothing changed. I didn't see it.
All right.
Yes, one more.
Could like kind of clear my mind and dark boat.
And he's trying to like train his eyes on your fingers there. Give me another roll.
7.
Oh, this one's too difficult to capture. I can't quite get it.
All right.
Damn.
I think that's all I've got.
He sort of looks sadly at this bottle of gross liquid and one more.
I don't know if I can cast that at a second level. I don't think I can.
Oh, were you casting it at a second level?
No.
That's a first level spell.
It is, but that's what I'm saying. I'm out of first level slots.
Oh, you can use a second level slot.
for any, even if it's not something that benefits from.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He wouldn't, just to be clear, he wouldn't mitigate, he wouldn't give you the level 2 price for a
No,
level
no,
one spell.
yeah, no, I know that, but I just don't want to be without.
Do your thing, buddy.
I've done this much already. All right.
Yes!
Yeah!
I'll try extra hard. I already have half the diagram.
Dark boat.
He's focusing. Give me another roll.
Come on.
This is a big one.
He's a big boy.
Oh my god, it's a 5! Oh, it just seems that this one is escaping us.
I can't.
You gave it a good try.
Yes.
That was excellent work, Graven.
The other diagrams are excellent. He motions to like a couple of the drawings that he has.
Good.
Memorialized in eternity.
Yes. I'm glad to be of help. Oh.
Is there more from your friend?
Me?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I got
Please,
stuff.
to the middle of the room.
Okay. All right. Now you said you wanted somebody that could like spew fire from their mouth.
Yes.
But you could also pick something else if you wanted to see a different kind of material.
What else can you do?
I could do fire, ice, acid, lightning, poison.
You pick one. No, wait. Lightning.
Okay, let's do lightning.
Directed at, out the window.
Nothing's going to become harmed?
The backyard.
Okay, all right.
He sort of runs over and he kicks the door open, and it swings open, clunk, and you can see the pile of like dummies out the back, right at the pile.
Okay, Orba's gonna position herself right by the door because it's a cone. So.
And he sort of gets his notebook and he goes over.
All right.
A bird's
So
gonna fly past Granny Jones.
Orba's gonna like do a little bit of like a body roll as her arm moves across her chest and then down as if like someone's preparing like a big belch, and then just hit out of Snowguard. Then she's gonna touch herself on the shoulder and just release lightning from her mouth.
Give me a spellcasting roll. So
Graven's like-
D20 plus your spellcasting.
Getting wasted.
Yeah.
14.
14. This book will be a legendary tome of reference. The envy of wizards and sorcerers alike. He sort of is sketching. Ha! And you look at it and it's like, you can see the sparks coming out of your mouth, and he's perfectly captured your horns, kind of sprawling to the side.
That's me.
Yes! What's next?
Now, you didn't request this one specifically, but I can make somebody float in the air.
That isn't one that I
No, okay.
requested.
What about you wanted a way to change your appearance, right?
Yes.
Okay, I can do that one. All right, hold on.
Ah!
So Orba's gonna get into the center of the room.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I gotta keep track of my fucking spell slots. Oh, one second. Okay. Okay, and Orba's going to like take both hands, but wave them across her face and past her body, and then just point her fingers down at the ground, and and she's going to change herself into
What do
Graven.
you make yourself look like? Oh, into
She's
Graven.
gonna turn into Graven.
He's like watching the motions, and he looks down for half a second to make a doodle, and then looks back up. Oh! Give me a spell casting roll.
Come on. 16.
16. Such grace, such precision. I can't tell you apart. Change it back.
I'll drop it.
Whoa! In an instant, like it's nothing. Beautiful, beautiful. Such good pictures all around. Anything else?
No, I think I have to conserve my energy, sir.
And you
but
see him kind of.
I can't. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
All right. Excellent. Let's tally up the spells.
Yeah.
Let's.
Let's see.
So
I hope
what did you guys
one was.
use successfully?
I used one Dragon's Breath, level 2,
Okay.
and then one Disguise Self, level 1.
Okay. Graven.
Light cantrip. Burning Hands level 1. And Calm Emotions level 2.
Level 2. Damn, that was a lot.
Oh my god, calm emotions.
That one's definitely the
You didn't even need
silliest.
to use it. She was just faking it.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Well, she
Get
conjured-
emotional.
She
I have
conjured
a
up
lot
something.
building inside of me.
Yeah, I was gonna
True
say.
enough,
It's been a hard.
It's been a long day.
few.
It's only 10 o'clock.
Bruce goes over to like the same place that he pulled the poison out of. It seems to be this sort of boudoir. He pulls out a big sort of drawer that kind of rattles a little bit as he opens it up. He shuffles around a little bit. Yes. 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 By my count, 390 gold.
Thank you.
If I were to do that math in my head as well, does that add up properly?
It should. Yes.
Okay, he's
It
not-
was 120, right?
Per level
Try to
2, and there was 2 level 2s.
So
I can remember
240
the
Yep.
prices.
plus my 30 is 270.
Mm-hmm. And then 2 level 1s, which is another 120, so 390, right?
All right.
Wow.
390.
He does not try to dupe you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, my tomes will be the envy of all. Thanks to you.
So glad.
You'll see. We'll find these like in a library someday.
I hope so.
Amazing. I'll keep my eye out.
Yes.
What's the collection going to be called?
I don't have a name for it.
Okay.
What should I call it?
Oh, I don't know. That's your
The
decision.
Fitzroy
Sketches.
Oh,
of magicians.
The
Oh my
Fitzroy
God.
Sketches of Magician.
you should be ashamed of yourself.
We'll work on it.
Well, whatever it is, we wish you luck.
Pleasure
Thank you
meeting
so much for coming by.
Oh, you said that you would ask the person who was here yesterday whether they didn't mind being identified.
Yes, I did. I asked, and he very enthusiastically said no.
Oh no. Can you like give us a hint or something?
I believe he was just passing through, not a local, so didn't wish to be known.
It wasn't a half-orc, was it?
No.
Okay. Just curious.
My understanding was that their occupation was perhaps a bounty hunter of sorts.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Thank you.
That's all I know.
Okay.
I mean, I know what they look like, but I can't tell you.
Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yes, please keep a lookout for the Fitzroy Sketches of Magicians.
Okay. Let's go.
Farewell.
Have a lovely day.
Bye.
Yes, and he goes back to step out into the
398. So we got 490 total.
We got so much money.
We got a lot. We got a decent amount of gold today.
Okay,
yes.
so 30% of 390 gold is
490.
490. So one, it's like 150 gold.
Well,
490.
if
Hold
it
on.
were 500,
Do you need my beaver?
30% would be 30 times 5. What's 30 times 5?
30 times 5 is no 30. But yeah.
So
Yeah.
a little under 150. It's probably like 148 or something like that.
That's great.
How much was the?
A lot.
How much for the ring? To get it
Well,
off?
we paid half up front, which was 400.
You have 400 left?
400 left.
Yeah.
We have 400 left.
140 something is a good chunk
That's
of
a
that.
hefty sum, yes.
That's a good start with only 2 days on the job.
Yes, I think Erland will be pleased.
Let's go
Okay.
to the Broken Crown.
Okay.
Maybe we can even see about the other contracts now that I have the writ.
If Palomar's is closer, like if it makes more sense to pop by Palomar's.
Right.
It's in the other direction, but it is closer.
Yeah,
Let's go
Palomar's
there
first.
first.
Okay.
Right.
Start heading in the direction of Palomar's.
Oh
Well,
my
we
God.
will follow Erland back to Naupa.
jeez.
Takes the steed away. Why don't you give me another steed away roll?
Yes.
Oh, come on. Birch. It's not birch.
Stella again.
And she notes your disdain as you get back onto the steed away.
Don't do that to my girl.
Hope you open your mouth.
But you ride all the way back.
Look at all the dust.
Yep, all the dust coming in there. The malice coming through. And you find your way all the way back to Naupa. Get off the steed away.
Back to the Uba Ale House.
Great. Head back to the Uba Ale House. You get yourself back to the courtyard. Pretty quiet at this hour for an establishment. There's kind of a few people around kind of the bar area having a drink or a bite to eat at this time. And you find at this time, Safira, what have you been doing during this time?
Well, I
Or
was
what did
getting.
you wish to do?
Once I arrived at the ale house,
Yeah.
I was gonna sit down and try to grab a table and a
Okay, great.
ale.
We'll say that if there wasn't somewhere you were headed off to after that Erland finds you enjoying
I
the
didn't
meal.
plan to do anything until I met up with this
Great.
one.
So Safira's there, kind of waiting. She knows that there was kind of an arrangement to meet for a meal later in the day. You see Safira at one of the tables.
Who's bartending?
It is the younger guy. Satyria. She said that she would be.
Oh, right. She's, yeah.
That she would be unavailable.
I wasn't listening to her.
You're lost in her eyes. We're trying to plan your approach.
If I kiss on the left side or
Yeah.
kiss on the right or my forehead? No,
So
that's
you get back to the very
Forehead? Oh no.
calm atmosphere of the Uba Ale House at this hour.
So I'll go sit. I'll catch Safira's eye and have a seat.
Oh yeah.
Any luck with San?
Well,
Can you?
yes and no. So, and I'm gonna pull out the notes that he gave me. So it's actually a bit complicated. Worked out for him that I recommended him to the Broken Crown because he's taken a job, which is honestly quite odd. Apparently, it's in what's the name of the continent?
Presidium is the
Presidium.
name of the city, actually.
Right,
Grand
the city,
Prasada.
right. So he's going to be. He's talking to Orba now about being shipped off to. I just forgot what it is.
What you just
Presidium?
said.
What just
Presidium.
came out of my mouth?
Yeah.
Presidium.
Yep.
To train, I suppose, Broken Crown soldiers. He's supposed to learn from the Asimars their special way of fighting, and then train Broken Crown soldiers in that method, I suppose. Which I don't know if that means anything to us at all. But
I mean, I obviously know of the.
I mean,
Asimars
obviously
of
we've
Grand
encountered
Prasada,
them,
yes,
yes, but
this is challenging.
I know. So it's going to be a bit of a bit.
A sacred grove, a blessed garden,
Yeah, I
an
know.
enchanted lake.
So basically, I wanted to run this by you and everybody because we've got to find. I mean, I figure somewhere along the way, while we're heading north, there's going to be somewhere that fits. That's a sacred grove, a blessed garden, or an enchanted lake.
Well,
I mean,
perhaps you could ask a local historian. Satiria might know in
I thought
Trickster's
Satiria
Thicket.
might be
She's
a good
from
person
there.
to ask. I had asked just this guard, and he said Trickster's Thicket.
Well, she's
So-
from there, so perhaps she would know about.
But I don't think it's just the thicket itself.
No,
I
she
think
would
I'd have
know
to
of
find
perhaps,
somewhere special. So I'd like to know where that is, so that we don't have to,
Yes, but she's an Elatrian elf. She might know if they have a.
Do you think anyone
blessed
else would
garden.
know around here? What about? And I'm gonna kind of flag down the bartender.
Sure, the young guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there something I get for you?
Hi, quick question. You wouldn't happen to know if there's something sort of north of here that's it's a bit odd, but either a sacred grove, a blessed garden, or an enchanted lake?
I know that there are Elatrian elves who hold certain areas as sacred.
Right. Would you know, specifically where one of those places would be?
That sounds like a very good question for Satiria.
Right.
What
right.
did I say?
When
Sorry.
is she in?
I think she's helping with some of the negotiations today
Right.
between the Redirans and the Elatrians.
Right.
She should be back, I don't know, noon.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen Mjörn around today?
No.
No. Is he still staying here?
An
An elven man who was hunting.
Yes, he stayed here briefly. To my knowledge, he does not have a room currently.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Right, thanks. So did you want to ask Safira then later.
Why would I ask? You have the one with the...
I don't know, you've got like a rapport or something, I don't know.
I can ask her, sure. Incidentally, I'd actually like to ask you a favor.
Right, okay.
I need someone to go speak to Niels Bargis.
Okay, why?
He doesn't like me because I delivered his sister's gooey head to him.
Fair enough.
And he made it quite clear that he
To
doesn't
be fair,
want
I was part of the gooey
Right,
head
but he doesn't...
situation. He doesn't know about the gooey head thing that I was part of it.
He was quite specific in not wanting to ever see me again.
Right.
I think that as long as
Not
you don't...
anyone associated
As
with
long as you
said
don't
gooey head.
mention that you're one of the people that killed his sister, I think we should be... yes, I know it's complicated, but he doesn't view it as such. It's his sister.
Fair enough. Okay, so what do I need to say to this guy?
Half sister. So, now sort of pull this out, the Tessa Pleasance thing.
Right, did she,
She's a character, but she... All right. She also has a band of the benefactor that's
Okay.
tied to Niels Bargis. So she needs to
okay,
accomplish
I
something
think
for
I see
him.
where this is going.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be too much money than we have in order to buy her freedom, so we need to ask for some sort of favor that we could
Fuck's
perhaps
sake.
do for her.
Well, you don't know anything that Niels Bargis would need.
Well, no,
and
that's
nothing
why I
can
need
sort
you
of
to
offer.
ask.
Well, I don't know what to offer him.
You can say, hey, we just... Okay. All right.
Hey, Neil.
Hey.
Tessa Pleasance.
So I'm assuming she wants out of this debt, right? He wants to
Yes,
get the
yes.
band
I'm
of the
trying to be honest. Give me a second.
Oh, this is a new experience for you, I suppose.
The whole alehouse comes to a hush.
He's trying to be honest.
Tessa Pleasance has a way of communicating with Grimari.
What? Sorry, what? Seriously?
Yes.
Wait.
And
so
she won't give us that way of communicating
get
with
her out of the
Grimari
band? Okay.
unless we get her out of the band.
wait, what's the way? Is it
An
the
inscription spell again, yes.
directly to?
Directly.
And she'd be willing to part with it.
Yes.
Right.
There used to be, you know,
What's that?
they used to,
This is lovers. What is this?
well, not lovers, but playmates.
Ew. Oh, never say that again, mate. So
That was somehow worse than that.
it somehow was. I don't know why.
That was what came out of your mouth. Yeah.
Now you say fuck buddies in canon.
That's canon now.
Intercourse friends. I mean,
That's also worse.
All right.
So,
So,
hang
in
on,
order...
but if this guy's like her, you know, whatever, her guy,
They're not. No,
her
they're not
friend,
any
her
longer.
special-
Anyways, the fact of the matter is, she has a way of communicating with Grimari, and she needs to get the band of the benefactor removed in order to do
And
so.
you're sure if we go to the trouble of doing this, she is actually going to give us that paper? Because if that guy's her like lover, then maybe she won't
They're
part with
not lovers anymore.
it. That's what she says.
Yes, that's what she says.
People say these things. People say these things and then don't mean them. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, so what do I need to say to Niels Bargis? I don't have anything to offer him.
I think that you can say that Tessa Pleasance, this is sort of true. This is sort of true. All right?
Oh, good if it's.
I
sort
don't
of
want
true.
you to. I know you don't like lying, so here are some things you can say that are
So let me-
specifically lies.
Equivocate. Sure. Instead,
Don't
much better.
lie specifically. You can say that we're in the pursuit of rescuing someone, and Tessa Pleasance will be able to help us with that if she no longer has to have the band, which is why we are.
I suppose that's true in sort of a roundabout way.
Yes,
but
that's the point.
You're trying to, I suppose, hope that he's going to do this out of the goodness of his heart.
Well,
then?
no, if he needs something done, we'll do it for him. You will do it for him. We will help, but you will say that you will do it
We're
for him.
supposed to leave town, mate.
I just say, is there anything that I can do for you in order to remove her benefactor? Because out of the goodness of my heart, I'm trying to save someone. And then, and say it with Safira's conviction. We're trying to save Marvin Bishop here. We are. We actually are.
Okay, so...
And I actually believe, aside from my personal connection to Grimari, Grimari could be an aid in this. Marvin Bishop and Grimari,
No,
yes,
I agree with
they
you.
have their differences, but they are
Close.
But you've talked to this Niels Bogus guy,
Yes.
right? And you talked
He's
to
a-
him about his sister. Do you know
Don't
anything?
mention that at all.
No, I'm not going to mention his sister, but what I'm saying is, do you know anything that he particularly wants? So in case I say, you know, I'll do something for you, and he's got, well, I've got nothing for you to do. I feel, you know, fine, and I can't offer him, you know, an insane amount of gold. So what do I offer him?
She
then?
makes glass for him.
That's nice. Okay.
So, but for free
She
at
might-
this moment. Am I understanding that correctly?
It's possible that's part of it, but she was mainly just saying she
She's
gives him
paying
a
off
portion
her
of
debt.
she
I
sells
see.
her wares.
I
I
thought
mean,
she-
he might buy
okay.
some of her goods, but she pays him just money.
She is paying him money, a portion of her profits currently. So, if there is,
Are
look,
you
maybe
sure
he
we
needs.
can't afford it? How big is this debt?
You can ask, but I assume that it's significant.
Right. Okay.
The point is maybe he. I don't know. Maybe he needs his sister buried, or
well, let's not bring that
Or
up.
maybe vengeance against the one who killed his sister, and then we could fake my death.
Okay, no, that's not. I'm not doing that. That's stupid.
Just
That's a dumb
whatever
idea.
he-
Let's
whatever-
get all the dumb ideas out now.
Whatever he just be there for him. Be there as someone, a mercenary who can help him.
Oh, yeah, I'm right.
And
I'm
you're
great
trying
with
to
that.
save someone's life. He's a good man. He just thinks I killed his sister.
I killed his sister too, but we won't mention that. So okay,
Are
all
you
right.
good?
So sure. So I do this, and then
Yes, Tessa Pleasance needs her band of the benefactor removed, and you're here
Okay.
to help him do whatever it is
Right.
because you want to save
so let me
some
just
person's
make
life.
sure I know what I've got to do before we leave town. I've got to run a few sort of errands. I've got to find someone who can tell me where I've got to
I'll- if
dance.
Satiria
Please
shows up,
ask, if
I'll
she
ask.
shows up, ask her about this. And oh fuck the fucking arrows! I've got to pick up the fucking.
Oh, where are those? I can perhaps pick them up for you.
Where are the? They're.
His shop is in Nagarwis.
Oh, this fucking Nagawis guy. He's.
You could, if you're going to. No, never mind. We can do that later.
I'm never gonna get those arrows.
No, we will get those arrows.
Okay, all right.
This'll
so
take- he's
to-
just up the road,
I
it'll be very
know.
quick.
To Niels Vargas now.
Yes, it'll take you 5 minutes to get there.
Okay, I'm going. I
Thank
will
you,
go now.
Safira. Thank you.
And I'm gonna stand up and kind of start to walk over to Niels Vargas's place.
Okay. What are you doing as she starts to head on?
Is there who else is in the bar right now?
Very few people.
Is-
There's
If you talk to
nobody that you recognize.
don't talk to anybody. Just don't say anything. to anybody. Just sit in your goddamn room.
I killed
Don't
your
talk
sister.
to
I killed your sister. I
Keep your
killed your
mouth
sister. The guy who was proselytizing to Orba is not kicking
He
around.
is not currently. Yes.
So I don't recognize
The
anyone.
Lakafuyu guy. What?
I don't recognize anyone.
Other than the young bartender.
Then I'll just hang.
No.
All right.
don't like
Sits
that
in a
dude.
sort of anxious state as he twiddles his thumbs and hopes that Safira.
I guess I'll keep my eye out for any, even just walking past any Elatrian elves or Murin if he's still kicking around.
Sure. Yeah. Any of the elves that you recognize
Yeah.
that you've met throughout. So, Safira begins to walk. Trip back to Bottled isn't necessarily what you envisioned as one of your last stops before leaving town. Having left it before, not you specifically, but the group, with the kind of tense, difficult conversation that was had with Mr. Bogus. But here you are, at the narrow little shop in Dienst. Vapors drifting out from the second floor windows, as you've seen prior when Niels was working on a new batch of alchemical wares. And the front door is wide open to provide for a little additional ventilation on this hotter day, and it allows you to see inside, where besides the customer that Niels is currently helping, he's evidently stepped up his security presence a little bit. There's 2 armed guards in the back corners of what was already a very
Ooh.
cramped storefront. There's very little room now to kind
Okay.
of comfortably browse his wares along the walls. So you're right here at the base of the staircase. You can hear him talking as you're approaching the staircase, talking to the other customer. A reminder that components purchased here are guaranteed to be of the highest quality, or your money back. Thank you. And then the customer kind of takes his bag of wares. He goes down the stairs.
And I kind of approach the.
Hello, I'm Niels Bogus. Welcome to Bottled. What can I do for you?
Nice to meet you. My name's Safira.
I think we've met before, but yes, welcome back.
Right. I wanted to ask you a question. Do you have a moment if we could speak?
A moment of about my wares. I have many moments. Yes.
Actually, not exactly about your wares. I have sort of a request and a proposal.
All right.
So I've got a friend who had gotten himself into a bit of trouble. He was unfortunately kidnapped. We tried to find him, and we found out that he had worked with Tessa Pleasance. Do you know her?
Yes. I
The-
know
she-
Tessa, yes.
Yeah, she's So she's in a spot of trouble, as you know, and she said
Trouble in what way?
she's got a band of the benefactors. She said that she was in some debt as a result of an explosion.
Pay back their
or
debts
something.
for doing nefarious things.
Sure. So what I wanted to know is, since she offered to help me with my friend that's been kidnapped, would it be possible for me to help her by helping you?
I'll not accept bribes or payments on her behalf. She has a debt. She must pay it.
Okay, what about services?
What sort of services did you have in mind?
I can be quite useful as a mercenary or fighter.
I run a simple alchemical shop. No need for mercenaries.
I have a friend who is skilled in magic to a certain degree.
What, they stay on as an employee of mine? What are you proposing?
We're leaving town, so if we could do something for you quite quickly. Do you need anything?
You want to do a favor quite quickly so Tessa can remove a band of the benefactor? That's quite an ask.
I suppose it is. Do you have anything that you would need that would be perhaps worthy of removing a band of the benefactor?
Make a persuasion check.
Come on.
Oh, come on, no. I think I have 0 modifier. I'm 99.9% sure I have, 4.
I'm afraid that bands of the benefactor are a time-honored tradition between the debtor and the dettee.
Right, I understand that. And if I did want to try to pay off the debt, would that be possible?
As I said, a monetary bribe of sorts is quite unbecoming.
Oh, well, why would it be a bribe if it's a favor for a...
Because she's not come by the money honestly. She's simply asked a wealthy friend of hers to pay it off. It's not acceptable.
Would you mind telling me? You don't have to. I don't know if you can, but what is she being punished for exactly?
I don't mind telling you at all. She brought some goods to Tuktu, sold them off, and turned out that they were defective goods, and the materials were not well inspected ahead of time, so there was an explosion of sorts in a laboratory in Tuktu, and the authorities there found it reasonable to hold her partially accountable for such a disaster.
Right. So who else was held sort of accountable for this?
No one. She was the one who made them. She was the one who transported them.
Oh, I thought she
Silver
was a glass blower.
She is. I'm confused.
I thought you said it was chemicals that exploded, not glass.
The glass that she had been commissioned.
Oh, it was the
were
glass that
used-
exploded.
Yes. The glass that was specially commissioned for caustic substances did not hold up.
Oh, I'm confused. But wasn't it the caustic substances that... Who had the caustic... Who's the... was
Mr. Silberos is an alchemist and took to a very good one, very reputable one.
Oh, right.
He specifically commissioned these glass vials and jars to hold these substances. She claimed that they would hold, and they did not.
So can you be sure that it was her that failed to meet expectations, or were the caustic substances perhaps more caustic than
The
were
authorities looked
advertised?
into the matter, and they determined that she was at fault.
Right. And there's no way to reopen that investigation, is there?
Not unless you want to go to Tuktu and speak to the local authority.
No, don't have time for that. I suppose I could send a letter. And there's nothing I can do for you, sure.
Nothing I can think of.
You inspect magical items and stuff?
Not magical items, magical substances,
Magical
components for potions.
Right. If I had any components for things, could I give it... I suppose that wouldn't be enough for a band of the benefactor.
There are some rare components that are difficult to acquire, but you have these on you at this very moment.
Well... Perhaps I have some magical components, I suppose. So, if we were going north, Is there anything up north that you would want retrieved for you, perhaps, if we came back? We'll probably be back in a month or so. We could get something for you if you needed it.
He raises an eyebrow slightly. Make a persuasion check.
Ooh.
I like them northy juicy.
5.
God damn it, guys!
I can't.
I'm not sure that there's anything that you would be able to acquire in such a short period of time.
It's not that short. Would be about a month of traveling.
Yes, well,
We're going all the way up through mountains.
that sounds very nice.
We could pick up things like mouther dregs, any magical components you might need. It's a magical thing, right?
Yes, not something that I use in my potions. Not a reputable item.
Yeah, you do.
Right. You don't ever work with myconid extract, do you?
No.
No. So you wouldn't have any interest in that?
I've heard that they can amplify the effects of potions. I've never had the chance to experiment myself.
Would you want to?
You have this on you?
Not at the moment, but I could acquire some.
Pure.
I can see what I can do. I have connections.
I would take a look.
Right. Well, it's been a pleasure chatting to you. I appreciate it. It's nice to meet you again.
Sorry, I couldn't be of more help.
No, I appreciate it. I can get back to you, and if I can get a hold of that, there's a chance that we can negotiate the ban of the benefactor.
I'd be willing to discuss it.
Right. I really appreciate it. It's been nice.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too.
Back. You, as you are walking away, you give like a quick look back, and he seems kind of deep in thought. He's sort of just thinking about what he might be able to accomplish with a little bit of.
I don't want to give that to that guy, but
That's
Safira's
mine.
leaving, and she's like,
You have
"What did I just promise?"
I couldn't think of anything else to offer him.
To get the key from you to her,
I don't
to
think
her
that's
to
the same
him.
thing, though.
It's yeah,
It's not. It's not the
it's a
same thing.
cap.
He's asking for something I probably can't get, so I might have to try
He's
to
asking
see
for the
them.
pure, which is different.
almost
Right, yeah.
impossible to get.
The memes, yes. Yes, we sent out a lore email regarding the different types of mic. We could put that in the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Creeps and sweeps.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Swallow playmates.
That's what she said.
Oh my god.
During this time, Erland, give me an investigation check, as you've been keeping an eye out for potentially some of the people.
15.
15.
That's how you roll.
Don't. That's
I need
not
coaching
fair.
on how to roll.
Rolling is hard.
You gotta flick your wrist the right way.
As you're there, you don't see Satyria or the elf that you saw in the woods outside of Wamparani Knob, but you do see what looks like at least a couple of the Elatrian elves. Maybe not the ones that you sat down next to that one time. Everyone was at the bar there.
Oh, good. They didn't hear me ask Satyria out.
No, but they're wearing some of those garments that they were wearing before that you sort of.
Are they sitting
recognize.
down or just walking past?
There's two of them that are walking through the courtyard right now, sort of in the direction of the bar, perhaps.
Oh, great. If they're walking towards the bar, I'll give them a sec to sit down.
Sure, they walk up to the bar,
great.
and it looks like they asked for something from the bartender, and he looks like he goes to get them something.
I'll sort of come up next to them. Excuse, I'll say in Elven. Excuse me. You're Elatrian elves, Satyria said?
Yes.
I'll continue this whole conversation in Elven. I just needed a quick question for you about Trickster's Thicket. Satyria said you might know something about Trickster's Thicket.
He looks to his friend, another Elatrian elf.
He thinks that an Elatrian might know something about Trickster's Thicket.
Yeah, I know that you know. I was asking permission to ask you a question. I'm trying to be civil.
Go on then.
I'm looking for a place with a sort of strong spiritual affiliation, a sacred grove or a blessed garden or an enchanted lake for a ritual my friend is doing with her weapon.
He kind of straightens up at this a little bit, and he seems like he's a little on edge, like a little...
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why would you want to know about that?
Oh, a friend of mine has a magical item that I think needs a sort of a sacred place to. I'm not very good at magic, but I think that she needs sort of a holy place to sort of focus her energy.
The sacred areas of Trickster's Thicket are for Elatrians only.
Oh, only Elatrians are allowed to even pass through.
Yes.
Oh, but the
In fact, if we weren't here in Satyria's place of business, I'd have you beaten just for asking.
oh, well, Who would beat me, if you asked?
I would.
So you'd have me beaten by you.
What?
He turns away.
My friend saves animals. She saves animals from the brink of death.
If you're going to keep talking, let me know so I can move elsewhere.
Do you not care about the animals of Trickster's Thicket? I know that the
Elatrians take better care of the animals.
Can you bring an animal back from death? My friend can. I've seen it with my own eyes several times.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Should have made fun of him. Persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
+1, 8.
8.
Ooh.
Like I said, move on.
Great, perhaps you should ask your friend to beat me up. That would just make more sense. I'll sort of go back to my table.
Erland.
The two of them look like they weren't sitting. They get like a drink or something, and from the bartender, they take them and then they kind of walk off, maybe in the direction of the rooms upstairs. A little bit more time passes, and Safira finds her way back from the east.
Any luck?
No, it's bad news, mate. It's really bad news.
I have bad news as well, actually.
Oh, what's your bad news?
The Elatrians are, first of all, very mean, and second of all,
Okay.
they threaten to beat me up for even asking about spiritual places.
You idiot. Everyone in this town wants to beat you up.
I asked for you.
I'm sorry, it's a little bit funny. I appreciate it. Thank you for asking. Can't be not even a little bit fun. It's been a long It's been a long day. It's not even noon.
What's your bad news?
My bad news is that guy drives a tough fucking bargain. He's clearly I don't know. I don't like him that much. He is adamant that this woman is responsible, even though I don't really understand. It was the glass that exploded. It was obviously the chemicals. It doesn't matter.
Yes, obviously.
I tried several different things with him to no avail. He didn't seem interested in any of my services. He wasn't interested in Orba or Graven's magic. He wasn't interested in any magical items. I definitely don't have anything valuable enough to get rid of a band of the benefactor. The only thing I could get him interested in whatsoever, at all, is Myconid Pure.
Well, that's not bad news.
I mean, it's better news, honestly, than, I suppose, absolutely not, you can't do it. But I also mentioned to him that we were going up north and that we could maybe get him something, and he seemed interested for a minute, and then I don't know if it was the way I said it, but he then, I suppose...
Well, Myconid extract, I would like to ideally get this page before we leave, considering that Grammari
It's not
is
gonna happen, mate.
potentially in
It's-
Finlock Forest.
Unless you think we can... Do you think we can get our hands on that?
Myconid Pure?
I mean, look, the other thing is that I don't really want to give that to him. It's not a great... I don't want someone who can experiment with potions, who knows a lot about this stuff, to innovate even further and make this shit more dangerous. It's not exactly a step forward in my particular struggle to give this guy pure. It's not what I want, but I can't exactly... I don't think I'm going to get anything past that guy, so I don't think I'm going to be able to give him something that's fake, as much as I'd like to. And I don't know what the better thing is. What do you think? Sorry, I know I just cut you off, but what do you think? I mean, is it better to get a hold of Grammari and have a direct line to someone who might really know some things that can help us and maybe possibly help us get to Marvin, which could help us get even more information? Or is it more important that we don't give this guy Myconid Pure?
I'd like to remind you that getting in direct contact with Grammari
I'm not saying it's a bad
might
thing.
be the only way to sort of shut down certainly the turning of people into Myconids at its...
I know, but there was
You've
a
always
possi-
spoken of cutting
No,
off the head of the snake.
I agree.
Grammari is
I just
the
feel like
head
I'm
of the
cutting off
snake.
one head of a snake and then I'm building another one.
A potion seller in a small coastal town has far less influence than the person turning people into Myconids.
I think you'd be surprised, mate. You might overestimate Grammari's involvement now. This movement might have taken, gone
Yes,
past him.
But no one knows more than he does.
I suppose that's true. I mean, look, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have contact with him. I'm saying we've got to weigh our options here. Also, we have to figure out if we can even get the stuff.
Yes, where do
'Cause
we
it might
find
not even be
pure...
an
Does
option.
Sandero have pure Myconid extract?
Well, he has a way to test and make sure that it's not tampered, but he doesn't have a way to... I mean...
Well, he has a way to
He
test
didn't
whether or
say,
not
he
it's
didn't say
pure.
that he had
You don't know
pure, I
what
don't
he's been
know.
using with his students.
I'm not exactly sure what he's been using.
He
to be
likes you.
honest.
That could be a way in. We
Right,
could
but
also
he's going
speak
out
to...
of town. He's been speaking.
No,
I'm not sure he's available today,
He-
and we're leaving. So
he's just having a meeting today. He's not going to Grand Prasada
No, I know.
this
I asked though
afternoon.
if he could train me, and he said his assistant said no. So I'm assuming that means he's out of commission, which means that we're on our own. Which means that we're either going to have to stumble upon this stuff, ask some very scary people for some very scary favors, probably get ourselves into bigger shit, and never be able to come back to the city again, which we have to do in a month. I think, unfortunately, we're going to have to leave this until we come back to the city. As much as I don't want to, there's no way. I mean, look, we can try, but I don't think we're going to get our hands on this stuff before we leave. It might be something that we're going to have to find in another city on our way back. I don't know.
There's no other cities between us and Finlock
I know, but I
Forest.
don't know where we're going to find it here, do you?
Settlements, but not
cities.
Yeah, not like a major city.
And I don't know who else
We have to
would be-
try. We have several hours today. We have to try. I have nothing else to do.
I mean, I suppose then we're shopping for
The other two
the
will
most
return. We're meeting
difficult
the
kind of extract to find.
We're meeting the other two here. So perhaps we wait for them to come back and see if they haven't, in their sort of travels around the city, have
What, you think they found Mike and Pure?
No, but perhaps a contact.
Okay.
Back with armfuls of pure.
A barrel.
Motherload.
You want one of these?
And I'd also
Just give a bunch away.
I'd incidentally like to catch Satyria before she speaks to those two Elatrians that I spoke to. 'Cause,
Well, we need to find a location.
yes.
I'm assuming you
We're
did-
not going to get that from an Elatrian elf. They'll just... The only reason they didn't attack me on the spot was because we were in a bar.
Right. I suppose that does sort of make sense. If you're an insular community, they probably think you're trying to burn down their sacred grove.
I told them you could resurrect animals.
That's not even true, Erland.
Again, it's a little bit true.
Oh my
Hang on.
god.
No, it's not. That's not even a little bit true.
I saw a tortoise fly out of its
resurrecting
body
them. I'm
and
not
come towards
It's
you.
its spirit. It's not resurrected. It doesn't have any autonomy. It
Yes.
lives in my bow. It's kind of sad, to be honest.
Yes, but in a way, when you become the creature, you're giving it a new life. It's barely alive.
Oh my god.
It's mostly a lie. I think we disagree fundamentally on what we think truth is. I'm concerned about this with you sometimes.
Keeping an eye out for Satyria or Orba or Graven.
Nah, dude.
You guys take a moment there, mulling over Myconid extract, or what else you might be able to offer Niels Bogus. We will go over to Fangle once more. You guys were headed over to Palomar's.
Yes.
Yes. Great. So you guys head a little to the northwest, up through the alley of Fangle there.
He's got the glasses and we don't know about him.
You don't know shit, man.
So you can see that the humidity of the day has pushed many of the occupants of Fangle and their children outdoors, where the breeze coming off the ocean offers some occasional relief. And because of that, the streets are unusually crowded, more so than any of the times that you've been here before. Even Palomar himself, who you've gathered is generally partial to the immaculate confines of his home, is sitting on his stoop, scrubbing his boots with a soapy brush that he occasionally dunks into a sort of little basin of water and goes at it. And as you get a little closer, you get the impression that he might have been in a little scuffle recently. He has a yellowing bruise just below his left ear, kind of on the back of his jaw, and there's a tied-off piece of cloth on his right bicep that surely wasn't there the last time that you saw him. As people pass him by, you get a little taste of Palomar as a man of his community, rather than a purveyor of magic goods. He says hello to his neighbors, he smiles at some of the kids playing in the street, and it really reinforces further this idea, this duality that you've seen among the long-standing citizens of Vikapura, that they have a very completely different demeanor and behavior with their fellow northerners as they do with outsiders or just people that they don't know or trust as well. So he's out there on the porch kind of scrubbing away at his boots there. So you guys approach.
Welcome.
Oh, you again.
Hi.
I've got your own filled with a bit of extra incense.
Thank you.
You didn't pay for a full top off, so there's still room inside, but this'll get you a little further.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
It's a nice piece. Did you find it out in the world? You buy it from someone?
Bought it, yes.
Where'd you get it?
just south. I believe we were leaving. We were leaving Leopold's Garrison.
All right.
Yeah.
Can't remember the seller's name.
Not bad. I'll look into it. Thanks.
Yeah, he had a couple of things that were very interesting. Are you okay?
Yeah, fine. Why?
Oh, sorry, you just...
Who was it? And isn't anyone we can help you with?
Bumped me head. Busted door.
Well...
Do you need any heads bumped?
I think the heads that need bumping been bumped.
Very well.
Let me get your own.
Thank you.
Goes inside for a moment. Just a moment inside. You have a moment here. It's inside, yeah.
Should we try to press it?
Or just say, if you ever need more heads bumped, we bump heads.
Right, but it's kind of time sensitive.
What's time sensitive?
We're leaving the city.
Oh, yeah, no, I meant like when we get back, if he ever needs us to like beat stuff up.
Alright.
We can do that. I don't know, do what you want.
Moment passes. He comes out. He has your urn in one hand that you can see the little bits of incense sticking up out of the top. And he actually has, it's slightly smaller and kind of a purplish tint in color, but he had mentioned that he had a similar one, and he kind of holds it to him.
I sort of had a similar one. Here's yours. Didn't know if you wanted to take a look at it.
I do want to take a look at it.
It's nice. You can have a look.
Thanks. So, what exactly does yours bolster?
Well, like I said, if you're feeling particularly run down, it helps alleviate some of that lethargy.
Oh.
It kind of explains the items here. I can show you the card for
Oh, yes, please.
So it like overrides exhaustion.
Yeah.
it. How astute of you. Yes, the incense, once again, and you have to light it with tinderbox. Any creature that stays within 5 feet of the urn and inhales the vapors lowers their exhaustion level by 1. So I can show you.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I didn't get it at Leopold, so I'm not sure if it's the same man, but...
May I ask where you found this one?
I bought it from someone in Dillisoon.
Oh.
He was passing through.
Good
Wasn't in Dillisoon, from Dillisoon.
Oh, you've never been to Dillisoon? Good magic there? Or?
I've been to Dillisoon. Yeah. Aside from Patrick Comet, probably the magic capital of Antisu.
Really?
Sure.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Probably the biggest university there.
What one?
University of Dillisoon.
Oh, sorry.
That's
And
all right.
it focuses on magic abilities or
It's
kind
all
of
kinds of
anybody?
magic. It's probably maybe the largest property in the entire city.
Wow.
Yeah, the university practically owns Dillisoon.
Does that influence, like, its the livelihood of the place? Like, is everybody pretty heavily associated with the school?
I suppose it employs a lot of people, yeah, but I don't know.
Is there a specific head of the school, someone in charge?
Sure there is, but I don't know who it is.
Well, this is a very interesting piece. Thank you for showing it to me.
Sure.
If I make my way to Dillisoon, I'll be sure to check out what opportunities it has.
I'm sure there's someone.
Cool.
So that's it then. Something else you need?
Offer one more time. I've had a bit of a frustrating couple of days, and I'd love to take it out on something.
I appreciate the offer, but it's been taken out already.
We'll be back in town soon if you ever need someone.
I'll keep it in mind.
Okay. Well, be safe, Mr. Franco.
Yeah, you too.
Cheers.
Right.
Can I have my herbs? Did I get my
Is there
herbs?
any smell that I'm catching from what he's cleaning up there? Maybe poopy smell.
Give me a perception
Oh
check.
my God.
Poopy smell. Oh.
I
Wait,
can't
you
remember
didn't
if I
give me
told
my
him
herb.
about the poop place, but
Can I have it?
perception.
Oh, your urn, yes.
Thanks.
12.
12. I mean, you do notice, even on the brownish leather, some blood stain maybe, but no
Okay.
particular smell.
Okay.
No poopy smell.
No, definitely not like a fecal smell at all. Where is your urn? have
Didn't I give it to you?
Yeah, you did. Here it is. I didn't erase one of the X's from it, so you can erase one of the usages. Off of it.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, a scuffle, enough to look like it was blood was drawn, but other than that,
And it looks like it was kind of an even fight. It didn't look like he was piled on. It looked like maybe blow for blow kind of
it
thing.
definitely doesn't. He doesn't look seriously injured at all.
Right.
He looks like he took a couple glancing blows. I mean, he wasn't like crippled in
Yeah.
any way. Yeah, he seemed perfectly sound of body.
Looks like he gave it as much as he
certainly looked like he at least gave it as good as much as he got.
Well, to the Broken Crown.
To the Broken Crown. Yeah.
As Graven and Orba head toward perhaps their last errand before reuniting with the group, that is where we will end
Boy, no.
chapter
Gosh
98.
darn.
A lot of good progress made on a few counts here. Some
Oh
leads
boy.
picked up. Some good stuff.
Some.
We are officially 2 chapters
Oh,
away
come
on from the end of
just yelled
season
right
1. Thank you all so much, as always, for coming on this journey with us. Like I said, 2 more episodes of season 1, and then we will start the big reveal of season 2. Start thinking if people... Do we have a place in the Discord maybe to start posting questions or
Not
something?
yet.
Yeah, we might do that,
Gonna launch that
for
soon.
the talk back, just so we have some stuff ready to go. We'll take questions from the chat too, but some things to kind of talk about regarding the first half or first whatever portion of this this campaign so far. Yes, was there a few things?
There are a couple things.
I'll
Mahi
put on
Mahi
some exciting music. Oh,
Mahi Boxer did another gifted another 6 subs, and then Scottish Jeffrey sub for the 5th month, and then Havoc gifted another sub as well. So thank you all very, very much.
Silly generous. Thank
That
you
is
all.
silly
Crazy.
generous. I like that. I like how you put that.
Silly
Silly
generous,
generous.
yeah.
Thank you.
that's the badge for a tier 3 sub.
Silly generous.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Silly
like
That's actually
it.
so cute.
Oh, it's gonna be hard
I
to
love
fit
that.
into a little
Silly generous.
silly generous.
We'll find a way to figure it out. Thank you guys so much. We hope you had a lovely evening, and we will be here next week, chapter 99.
99.
We're gonna
Party.
like it's
Stop.
chapter 99.
Too much.
Awesome. Have a wonderful night, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tabletop Notch.
Bye. You're good.
I'm good.
Chugga chugga.
Make it
Chugga,
an
chugga.